If you've ever been excited for an NBA Finals game at Madison Square Garden, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Benzinga's Pre-Market Playbook. We're back here. It's June 3rd. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We got another day to make it through. We got Tim Melvin coming on today. We had Palo Alto earnings last night. Big reversal. Huge pop, good number. Then it reversed and went negative. It's curling up off the lows today. Curious to see if anyone has a trade plan for that. Do we buy the dip? Do we trade that back to the upside? Alta also reported earnings. And then, of course, we have CrowdStrike today and Broadcom today after hours. So we got some big events after hours here today. Great to see a whole bunch of returning faces. We're going to have a good Wednesday. Benzinga's Pre-Market Playbook, the Wednesday edition, for June 3rd, 2026. Starts right now. Good morning and welcome back, folks. It's great to see a whole bunch of returning faces here. I hope that you all had a wonderful rest of your Tuesday evening. If you're rooting for the Vegas Golden Knights, yesterday was probably pretty good for you. Good to see everyone coming back here. Crispy Biscuit is first here today. Good morning, everybody, and good morning to you. Welcome back. It's great to see you. Free Diddy tomorrow. Good morning. Let's go. Robert, welcome back. Good morning. Francis, welcome back. Good morning. Yes, that girl. Good morning. Welcome back. Zach McCracken, good morning to you and the Benzie gang. I love it. XOS, interesting energy play, huge pop. What are the prospects? I actually did take a look at this one because I had a couple of extra minutes here today, and this is probably going to be the top mover of the day, or at least is so far here in the pre-market. Prospects are pretty good. It looks like like a power hub. That should be less friction for customers. Really, it seems like it's rebranding itself from a niche EV market to a data center market, which makes a lot of sense. Execution, I think, is still the risk, though, but I'm sure we'll talk about XOS a little bit more when we get to the pre-market pulse segment. Good morning, Zach. Good morning, Janie. Great to see you again. Positive Trader, good morning. Whis, good morning. Producer is locked in and ready to go. Daniel, good morning. Welcome. Reggie, top of the morning, folks. Are we on XOS? Yes, we are. Looks like several folks are already. Peter, good morning. Pan W, not doing so much today. We'll see. The day is young, my friend. The day is young. Linda, good morning. Welcome back. Kimosabi, good morning. Well, I love that handle so much. Top of the morning to you, indeed. If I had a top hat, I would tip it to you, but I don't. Corey, good morning. It's great to see you. Please listen to Free Diddy tomorrow. Please like the stream. You can really help us out by clicking that like button. Helps the algorithm and everything else. So please do that. Bernhard, good morning. Welcome back. AC, good morning. Welcome back. Just passing through. Good morning. Welcome back. D. Gordon, good morning. Welcome back. Cam, good morning. It's great to see you again. Patji, good afternoon. Let's go, Patji. How's it going? How are you doing? Derek, it's great to see you again. Good morning. Lion Atlas, or Hamid, I guess I should start calling you now. Good morning. Welcome back, buddy. Durkis, good morning. Kelly, good morning. Kathy, good morning. Alvin, good morning. It's great to see you. JJ, good morning. South Beach, thoughts on Microsoft this morning? Don't have any yet. Haven't looked at it, but perhaps we can take a look at that coming up here. So just sit tight. Lion saying MU and Marvel explode, so my call options are pure gold, baby. I was thinking about you. I came in this morning and looked at Marvel, really just trading up again on the comments from Jensen, right? Traded up 30% yesterday, up again here today. Where's the top for Marvel? Perhaps more importantly for the trade, where's your exit price? Where is your exit price? Gen Z Pool Guy, good morning. Hedgehog, what's shaking? You, Bacon, good morning. Welcome back. AC, good morning. Similo, good day from South Africa. How's the Euro USD going today? I don't look at currency pairs or trade currency pairs, so if there's someone else in the chat that can help him out, let him know. Let him know how that's going. Up 30, good morning. And Big Bees, good morning. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our stock market today. Mixed futures here ahead of Wednesday's open. S&P futures down by 0.07%. They've been pretty sideways all morning, although slightly negative. Dow futures down 0.31%. That's actually been leaking here in the pre-market. And the NASDAQ's been climbing. This is actually up by 0.26%. So mixed futures, we'll see how we open here. Now, let's take a look at some cues from last session and what we have going on here today. Sectors that gained and lost on Tuesday saw most S&P 500 groups finish higher. It was led by utilities, materials, industrials, and healthcare and communication services bucked the trend to close lower. U.S. stock futures were and are mixed on Wednesday after a record close on Tuesday as the Dow Jones and S&P 500 advanced, but the NASDAQ fell. The U.S. military retaliated against Iran by launching strikes on an Iranian ground control station in Qeshm Island, near the Strait of Hormuz, after Iran's failed missile attacks on Kuwait and Bahrain. Just a day after the missile attacks, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reportedly received a heated call from President Trump over the situation in Lebanon. According to Axios, Trump called Netanyahu crazy and said he would, quote, be in prison if it weren't for me, end quote. Trump allegedly added, quote, everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this, end quote. Things getting spicy over there. Meanwhile, the 10-year Treasury bond yielded 4.48%, and the 2-year bond was at 4.07%. The CME Group's Fed Watch Tool projections show that the markets are pricing in a 98.4% likelihood that the Federal Reserve leaves the current interest rates unchanged during the June meeting. Now, I've got several stocks in focus here for you today. We've already hit on a couple of them. We might as well keep discussing them. Palo Alto is going to be first, ticker PANW. It's 4.62% lower despite beating third quarter estimates and raising guidance. So we had the beat and raise, yet it moved lower. Palo Alto Networks adjusted Q3 EPS of 85 cents beat the 80-cent estimate, and sales of $3.002 billion beat the estimate of $2.944 billion. Palo Alto saw Q4 adjusted EPS range of 96 to 98 cents. That was versus a 94-cent estimate. And they see sales of 3.345 to 3.355 billion. That was versus an estimate of 3.283 billion. The next stock on our list is going to be Shopify, and the ticker is SHOP, and it was 0.85% higher as it added $3 billion to its ongoing share repurchase plan. And that brings the total to $5 billion. The next stock on our list is going to be Broadcom, ticker AVGO, one of our favorites. It did advance 3.05% as analysts expect it to report earnings of $2.40 per share on revenue of $22.12 billion, and that comes after the closing bell today. Marvell makes our list again, ticker MRVL. It continued rising with a 12.67% gain after NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said it was, quote, the next trillion-dollar company, end quote. That came at the Computex conference in Taipei, Taiwan. The final stock on our list is going to be CrowdStrike, another cybersecurity name. Ticker is CRWD, and it was 0.77% lower as analysts expect it to report earnings of 78 cents to 107 on revenue of $1.36 billion, and that's after the closing bell today. All right, let's take a look at the SPY chart. Feels like these updates are the same every day, or at minimum, very, very similar. S&P 500 or SPY here is chilling in right near the all-time highs. Now, we did set another one yesterday. Here's the key takeaway from that, though. The all-time high that we set on Monday was 760.28. And the all-time high we set yesterday was 760.40. So we literally set a new all-time high by 12 cents. And then we kind of weakened a little bit. We're actually down just a tad here in the pre-market, although I don't want to make too much of it. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens here today. So we're up near all-time highs. We set a new one yesterday, but we didn't really have any carry through from it, at least not yet. As far as key levels go, I'm still thinking on a pullback, 750 and 745 are going to represent our first possible support level. I understand it feels extended. I understand a lot of individual stocks feel extended, and perhaps that does lead to kind of more of a pullback here. But given what the market has been doing, especially the past, 2 months at this point now, really think we need to give some credence to the 745 or 750 level if we do get down there. We'll see if that ends up holding, trading sideways, and giving us an opportunity to trade the broader index there. Let's go back and take a look at some insights from analysts. Here we go. Let me cue that up here. Wharton School professor Jeremy Siegel maintains a highly constructive outlook on the U.S. stock market and the economy, driven by resilient growth and improving liquidity. While the first quarter GDP was revised down to 1.6%, Siegel stresses that there's, quote, no meaningful evidence of an approaching recession, end quote, with the second quarter growth projected between 2 and 3%. Crucially, he highlights 3 consecutive months of above average expansion in M2 money supply, signaling that supportive financial conditions have returned. Though recent AI productivity gains haven't yet surfaced in aggregate economic data, Siegel remains, quote, highly optimistic that AI will eventually drive a significant productivity renaissance, end quote. Near-term tailwinds like easing treasury yields and lower oil prices further bolster equities. Siegel also dismisses concerns that the equity risk premium has vanished, calling direct comparisons between stock earnings yields and normal bond yields, quote, one of the most common valuation errors in finance, end quote. Because stocks offer real yields that grow with inflation, he notes that they properly stack up against inflation-protected securities. By that accurate metric, quote, equities still offer roughly a 2.5 to 3% premium, close to their long-term historical average, end quote. This is solidifying a strong long-term case for stocks. Now, as far as the economic data here today, Federal Reserve Governor Michael Barr will speak at 9. May's S&P final U.S. Services PMI will be out by 9:45. And April's factory orders, along with May's ISM services data, will both be released at 10. We also have the Beige Book being released at 2 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see how all of that goes. Okay, let's talk about the big earnings report. This is going to be Palo Alto. And as I prefaced in the open here, put up a pretty good report, immediately traded up 40 points or so, and then came all the way back in, went lower. But this morning, it's actually curling a little. And so I'm wondering here, is anyone looking to trade Palo Alto? I'm wondering if you're going to trade Palo Alto at all, but I guess more immediately, are you going to trade it here in the short term? Let's break down the earnings report and see what we can get out of it. Palo Alto Networks, ticker PANW, posted financial results for the third quarter of fiscal 2026 after the closing bell last night. Here's a rundown of that cybersecurity company's report. Now, I gave you the numbers here, but the third quarter revenue of approximately $3 billion, which beat the estimate of $2.94 billion. The company reported adjusted earnings of 85 cents per share for the quarter, and that beat the estimates of 80 cents per share per Benzinga Pro. Perhaps more importantly, total revenue was up 31% year over year, and remaining performance obligations grew 36% year over year to $18.4 billion. The company said next generation security annual recurring revenue increased 60% year over year to $8.1 billion. Palo Alto generated $910 million in adjusted free cash flow during the quarter and exited the period with approximately $2.36 billion in cash and cash equivalents. Quote, Q3 was a standout quarter for Palo Alto Networks, with accelerating organic bookings growth as customers turned to use to secure their AI deployments at scale, end quote. That came from Nikesh Arora, chairman and CEO of Palo Alto. He went on to say, quote, the latest advancements at the AI frontier have increased the level of urgency around cybersecurity and redefined the shape of the industry for the coming years, end quote. That tells me there's some more room to go here as long as they execute. Palo Alto expects fourth quarter revenue to be in the range of $335 to $336 billion. This is versus estimates of $3.28 billion. The cybersecurity company anticipates fourth quarter adjusted earnings between 96 and 98 cents versus an estimate of 94 cents. Palo Alto raised its full-year revenue outlook from a range of $11.28 billion to $11.31 billion to a new range of $11.42 to $11.43 billion, and that was versus the estimates of $11.3 billion. The company also lifted its full-year adjusted earnings outlook from a range of $3.65 to $3.70 per share to a new range of $3.77 to $3.79 per share, and that was versus the estimate of $3.69 per share. So again, beat on the top and the bottom line here. Pretty good guide. Perhaps we're going through that. We talked about this with Charlie yesterday. Perhaps these companies just don't, quote, beat enough, if you will, right? They don't put up that good of a quarter where it just keeps going here. Now, it's come back in. It's moved a little bit lower. It's come up off the bottom. That makes me wonder if there's a potential trade here today, even if it's just something short term. So I'm going to be looking at Palo Alto here today. For you options players, we have options that expire on June 5th, so this Friday. Looking at that, the 295 call is about $2,100, maybe a little bit less if you work it. And then the 300 call is like $1,850. So I think that actually might make a decent intraday trade here if Palo Alto holds up. We'll see, though. I have no position going into today. We'll see if we end up taking one when the market actually opens here. All right, next piece of news here is going to be on SpaceX. And folks, there's going to be a lot of this leading up to the SpaceX IPO. Elon Musk targets $75 billion IPO raise and plans to sell over 555 million shares at a price of $135. Now, that's the IPO price. What price will it actually open at when it does, in fact, IPO? Your guess is as good as mine. If you have any guesses, maybe we should do that. Producer, I don't know if you have a poll idea here today, but maybe we could do that one. Let's take a look at this, though. The Elon Musk-led commercial spaceflight company SpaceX is reportedly targeting raising $75 billion via its IPO, which is scheduled to take place in the coming weeks here. The company is targeting the sale of 555.6 million shares for $135 per share, and a source familiar with the matter cited that in a report by Reuters on Tuesday. The report also said SpaceX's move to list the price is unusual at this stage, given that companies typically set a price range before meeting prospective investors during the roadshow, which is a promotional tour for the listing where companies and underwriters meet with potential investors. SpaceX had submitted an amended S-1 filing with the SEC on Monday, revealing a few changes, like a lock-in period of 366 days for Musk-owned Class B shares, as well as listing American Airlines Group, ticker AAL, as a Starlink customer. The company had earlier outlined a $28.5 trillion market opportunity for SpaceX, most of which was tied to the company's artificial intelligence pursuits. However, following the news of the filing, Tesla, ticker TSLA, experienced a sharp decline, which, according to investor Gary Black of the Future Fund LLC, was tied to updated text in the filing that said SpaceX would offer significant liquidity for future transactions and acquisitions, signaling dilution concerns, according to the investor, should a merger happen. Meanwhile, a Tesla-SpaceX merger could also result in Musk's $1 trillion CEO pay package automatically kicking into effect without the EV giant meeting the stipulated milestones in the package in the event of a merger acquisition of Tesla, which at that point, compensation then solely depends on market cap. So the worry here is that, well, they have all these great metrics, okay, but there's like a backdoor way of getting the pay package by just looking at market cap in the event of a merger. They've already kind of floated that, right? They've already kind of floated. That they may do that. So we'll see. I am very curious on SpaceX. We do have a street tweet coming up here today that I think you folks should take a look at. I almost want to do it right now, but we're going to wait for that segment till after Tim here. I'm interested in this. I definitely want to trade this. I would imagine you folks do too. I'm just curious how everyone's thinking about this. Are you folks trying to get some from your broker? Are you looking to trade it when it actually IPOs? Are you looking to invest in it and just own it and not trade it? Let me know what the plan is. I'm very curious. This is probably going to be the biggest event of the summer, I would imagine. Okay. Here's another story. Cisco and Palo Alto could be major winners from Anthropic's Mythos AI. And this is according to Kramer. We've come a long way. Oops, I'm not sharing the right screen. Sorry about that. We've come a long way from some of the SaaS apocalypse talk and how AI is going to kill all of these different companies. Now, Jim Kramer here saying that several of these might benefit. Jim Kramer said that Cisco, which is ticker CSCO, and Palo Alto Networks, ticker PANW, could have more room to run. And he argues that Anthropic's cybersecurity-focused AI model Mythos could prove to be a major catalyst for both companies. Quote, both Cisco and Palo Alto came in hot, but I think they can run further. Mythos is such a game changer for these companies, end quote. Kramer said that in a post on X yesterday. Cisco and Palo Alto are both among several partners in Anthropic's Project Glasswing initiative, which gives select organization access to Claude's Mythos for defensive cybersecurity work. Palo Alto CEO Nikesh Arora, in an earnings call on Tuesday, described Mythos as evidence that the industry has entered, quote, the era of truly cyber-capable systems, end quote. He also noted that the company had completed more than 800 customer meetings in 6 weeks as demand for AI-driven cybersecurity continues to grow. Quantum's not even here yet, and that's still growing. Cisco further expanded its AI security push with the launch of Cisco Cloud Control. That's a platform designed to help enterprises manage and secure fleets of AI agents across their networks. Companies continue to ramp spending on AI infrastructure as they race to deploy generative AI applications and secure increasingly complex digital environments. Major cloud providers and technology companies are collectively expected to spend hundreds of billions of dollars this year on data centers, networking equipment, and AI-related software. Cisco, in its earnings report last month, said the company has already secured $5.3 billion in AI infrastructure and hyperscaler orders so far this year. Buoyed by the strong demand, the company increased its fiscal year orders outlook to $9 billion from $5 billion. Palo Alto has likewise cited growing demand for AI-powered cybersecurity solutions as the company raised its full-year outlook on Tuesday and highlighted strong customer interest in securing AI applications and infrastructure. So what we've been saying all along with this, or at least what I've been saying and thinking, is that some of these companies are actually going to be winners and AI is going to help them. Some of them, they're not going to be winners. And you might be able to draw the conclusion that AI killed it off. But this whole thing about AI killing software, killing cybersecurity, doing everything, we're seeing now that that's just not the case. And instead, it's actually going to be a partnership between AI capabilities or models like Mythos and these companies themselves. That's really going to drive some of the better, let's call them advancements in the industry. So I'm curious to see how this shakes out. I still think a lot of these companies, and we'll see what CrowdStrike says today, but I still think a lot of these companies are also, the stock price is going to respond to new deals, PRs, and news about AI applications and integrations too. That's something I think we can look at for the purpose of trading for both short-term, medium-term, and long-term. Okay. Let's see how much time do we have. Got 7 minutes until we get to Tim. I'm going to get one more story in here, I think. This one here, as OpenAI, SpaceX, and Anthropic eye blockbuster IPO, CEO or Goldman CEO said greed mode is back and liquidity won't be a problem. Now, this jumped off the page for me because we talk about the fear gauge all the time. We've got greed and fear. And Solomon here is saying greed mode is definitely back. Now, let's run through this. I'd love to get opinions here on what this means for a potential market pullback. I know a lot of us are kind of waiting out a pullback, thinking that we need to see one here. And we're trying to come up with what that catalyst could be. Call it a black swan event if you must. We're trying to figure out when that pullback is going to happen. And we'll see if these IPOs are maybe one of the catalysts there. I actually wouldn't be terribly shocked if that's the case. Let's go through the story here, though. Goldman Sachs, which is ticker GS, CEO David Solomon, and by the way, I was told recently, I don't know if this is true, but I was told that David Solomon had to give up his DJing hobby because people on the board said he was spending too much time with that. I haven't been able to confirm that myself. If you know about that, let me know. Regardless, CEO David Solomon has stated that investors are now in greed mode as markets prepare for a significant fundraising wave from large artificial intelligence firms. On Tuesday, Solomon told CNBC that there is sufficient capital for the upcoming IPOs of OpenAI, Anthropic, and SpaceX. Quote, "There's plenty of liquidity in the system if the world continues to remain as optimistic," end quote. He went on to say, "We are definitely in a moment where there's more greed than there is fear." The remarks come as investors prepare for a surge in high-profile equity offerings, marking one of the busiest issuance period in years. Solomon, whose bank Goldman Sachs is involved in several of these deals, brushed aside concerns about the market's capacity to absorb the influx of supply. While doing this, he cited Alphabet's, which is GOOG and GOOGL. He cited Alphabet's strong stock performance after announcing an $80 billion equity raise as a sign that investor appetite for AI remains robust. Quote, "The stock is trading very well," end quote. He went on to say this is the first actual concrete data point for bringing something of this scale, and it's encouraging. Solomon said strong market liquidity and rising wealth can support the massive fundraising wave, while AI profits could fuel further investments in new ventures. Driven by strong AI-fueled earnings growth, Goldman Sachs raised its year-end S&P 500 target from 8,000 up from 7,600, and that implies about a 6% upside. The bank also boosted its earnings forecast, projecting S&P 500 EPS of 340 in 2026 and 385 in 2027, following an exceptionally strong first quarter earnings season. Also, according to Goldman Sachs, NVIDIA, ticker NVDA, and Micron, ticker MU, are expected to drive about 1/3 of the S&P 500's earnings growth per share this year. Those two companies alone, 1/3. No wonder Lion likes it so much. Meanwhile, SoftBank CEO Masayoshi-san, by the way, the ticker for SoftBank, SFTBY on the OTC, Masayoshi-san called the AI revolution the biggest revolution in technology and also termed it 50x bigger than the dot-com boom of the 2000s. San also said humanoid and industrial robotics powered by physical AI represent the next trillion-dollar business opportunity. Echoing Solomon, veteran strategist Ed Yardeni said that despite the massive scale of the upcoming IPOs, he's dismissed concerns about the market's ability to absorb supply, suggesting that the liquidity in the system is sufficient. Quote, "The combined market value of these three companies is widely expected to total 4 to 5 trillion once they go public. The capital being raised is around 200 billion. So you let me know, do these AI IPOs, you could throw SpaceX in there. This article didn't even mention something like a Databricks, which is also probably coming. Are these IPOs the start of the move back down? Might they mark the top? Does anyone even think that's possible? Or are we just so AI crazed and in such a melt up that as soon as these things come, they're going to get bought up too? You have to let me know what you think about that. One more really quick thing here. This is actually not even really a full story. I just wanted to mention about the buyback here. We talked about this a little bit in the open. Then we'll get Tim Melvin on. I must have had more coffee today. I'm a little bit ahead of schedule here. Shopify, which is ticker SHOP, on Tuesday increased its share repurchase authorization by $3 billion. That brought the total buyback program to $5 billion. Chief Financial Officer Jeff Hoffmeister said the move reflects confidence in the company's business outlook, supported by consistent operating cash flow, a strong balance sheet, and continued quarterly performance. As of June 1st, 2026, Shopify had repurchased about 1.45 billion of shares under its existing authorization. The company said it will continue buying back shares through prearranged algorithmic trading programs, which with purchases subject to market conditions and regulatory requirements. Shopify noted that the program does not require a specific amount of repurchases and may be modified, suspended, or terminated at any time. So Shopify, good news on the surface, adding more to the buyback. What's it actually going to do? we'll see. They can terminate it at any time. So it is what it is, but that's also floating in the news here today. All right, folks, it is 8:30 or just about 8:30. A quick check-in on the futures here. S&P futures still holding in the red here, down by 0.16%. They've actually moved a little bit lower. So too as the Dow, that's down by 0.4, and the NASDAQ, which was positive, has come off its highs a little bit, still holding the green arrows up by 0.14%. Okay, let's get our favorite guest on here, shall we? Tim, happy Wednesday. How you doing, buddy?
We are doing great. And I heard your little question there on the IPOs. Now, look.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
First off, guys, if you have not yet figured out why Goldman Sachs was once called and still earns the moniker of vampire squid, you ain't paying attention. If David Solomon's telling you there's plenty of liquidity, it's because he's one of the lead underwriters. He needs you to believe that in a very big way, right? Anybody else remember the time Goldman was telling us all to buy oil and all their desks were short? Because I do, right? It's you don't take a brokerage CEO seriously when he tells you things are going to be okay. It's like Hostess telling you that Twinkies should be a stable part of your diet, right? So here's my take on the IPOs. First, Hamid said something brilliant. Trade what's in front of you. If it does crash, be prepared to buy quality companies for the longer term. That's exactly how this game is played. Yep. The trend is up, guys. Now, we can take all the other debates, arguments, stories, news, garbage coming out of Washington, whatever we want to take, right? And that was a blanket garbage applied to both parties, all officials. Okay, so don't at me.
Oh, don't worry, Tim. Someone's going to tell you to go back to bed. I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm not going to worry about it at all. So, what the danger spot's not the IPOs. Right? Because, a few billion here, a few billion here coming out of here, these multi-trillion dollars. That's not the problem. The problem comes in 180 days. And that's when the lockups expire. That's where all the insiders, the executives, the VCs, the institutions, the ETFs, everybody that's managed to glom some of these shares can now sell their stock. Right. And they can start beginning to sell significant amounts of it in blocks of time. Okay. But that really big one kicks in at 180 days in most cases. Now, you don't have a problem just of, do I have enough money to buy the IPO? You've got multiples of the IPO coming onto the market. And that's where we might see a little bit of a liquidity suck.
Okay, and Tim, just to carry your example here, as far as the Cerberus IPO, which I guess fits into this whole theme of some of these big AI IPOs, that insider lockup date is November 10th.
Okay, well, there you go.
So mark it down on your calendar, and as these come out, I'll let you know when those insider lockup dates are. That way we can take a look and see what happens right around that day.
Yeah, those are going to be the more important liquidity events. Okay. And Izzy, I see your thumbs down on my Orioles, but you know what? They've won like 8 out of the last 10. So, don't mess with us. We're faithful again for this little brief period of time. All right.
Seems to swing back and forth.
It does. It does. So anyway, that's what's going to happen with that. And when we get to the software, that's very timely. Because Ryan, I sent you a bunch of papers. I sent them late, but they're there. There's 4 papers that you can send out to folks. No, don't worry about it. I was late. Sparkline Capital did one, and they did one on software specifically. And they were talking about industries, technology industries that are being disrupted. Now, I've got a lot of cover, so I'm just going to kind of hit what the high points of this paper, and you can read it. Sparkline, who does a fabulous job in technology research, came out and said, look, you can't look at this as you might a regular bargain opportunity, right? We can't look at this and say Micron's selling at 5 and chip demand is going to go on forever and ever. We can buy Micron at 5 times earnings. This is different because this is an actual real disruption. This isn't some Google engineer's idea that may come to happen, as was the case with the chip sell-off. This is happening now, going to accelerate. Some of these countries are going to be disrupted right out of existence. So you've got to look at these and figure, There's going to be winners and losers. Obviously, there's going to be Cisco's, but there's also going to be Blockbusters and Borders and Radio Shacks and McClatchy, right? They are permanently disrupted. There'll be fits and starts, but they're going to zero. So, in order to figure that out, Sparkline gave us a simple framework. Um, and it really has to do with, look, you're looking for the moats, right? You're looking for the ones, the software companies, and I'm going to use Fiserv as an example. They are so deeply embedded in the day-to-day workflow of the banking industry, right? That disrupting them is a major, massive expense, almost impossible to be done in any reasonable time frame. So you're looking for the software companies that are just, Salesforce comes to mind. They're running entire portions of the business, doing the accounting, managing customers, compliance, everything, right? Those guys gonna be harder to be disrupted, and they're gonna be the ones that are actively looking to work with and partner with AI to get better. So you could go through this and you could look at them. Like I looked at this one construction company, software package company this morning, and it's great company, and their software does really cool stuff, and you can do it all on Claude, right? So these guys have been cranking along, like, if 25% ROE for quite some time now. They're dead. Right. So you're looking for that installed customer base that's mission critical, basically. Then you're looking for the companies with tons and tons of patents, models, proprietary data, huge data warehouses.
You know what company has that right now that we've been talking about?
What's that?
BlackBerry.
BlackBerry, sure.
And that has been on a big run. I think this has proven your point, Tim.
Yeah, and then look at brand equity, right? There's a reason IBM is still used everywhere.
That's another good one.
Because it's IBM. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw the quantum funding numbers that came out, where the president's going to turn the United States into the world's largest merchant bank again and put some money into quantum companies. IBM got the big number. Now, I wish we had rewind on here, Ryan, because we could go back in time when I told you guys the big winner in quantum was, in fact, going to be IBM. They are way ahead of everybody else.
And you weren't the only one that said that too. We actually had discussions about that on our happy hour program. We've been talking about IBM being a major player in quantum and actually AI too. One of the early players there in AI, and you're bringing it up again. This is a good point.
Yep. And then the other thing that you want to look for is you want to look for the ones here, because AI is the game changer in software, right? Who is adopting and integrating AI? Adobe is doing a fantastic job. Fiserv, again, actually doing a fantastic job. So once you find these companies, it's not just, oh, hey, this company's trading a really low multiple free cash flow after the sell-off, let's buy it. You got to look for the ones that have the installed database, that have intellectual property, and are adding AI to it. So now if you get on a conference call and they're kind of vague, yeah, we're going to use AI and it's going to be cool and we'll bring it in, or there's nowhere that AI makes adds value without cannibalizing the product, that's a dead company. And those are the ones you're going to need to really work to avoid. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on 7-figure insider buying.
Okay, if you're going to insider buying, still one of our triggers. Sorry.
Okay, insider buying will always be a trigger.
Yeah.
Right. And I talk a lot about ruthless efficiency because that's coming. A lot of the things that we think are great and wonderful and work today, when AI reaches, say, high school, right? When it comes to trading and to some other functions, right now AI is still, it just moved into high elementary. Okay. It's going to keep going and going. And the more data it digests, the more it processes, the more we all interact with it, the more it's going to learn. A lot of the things that we take as gimmies today will be arbitraged out of existence. Okay. Insider buying is one of those things, along with value and momentum, where that's going to be hard to do, because insiders are buying stock for a reason. They know something we don't, whether it's the valuation or new products. It is valuable information. So when you see that, insider buying is, almost always going to have a long-term positive tilt to it. You want a lot of other factors, though, because remember something: insiders also have another major flaw as investors, and this one, unfortunately, is terminal. They're human. Can't code that away, right? It's humans make mistakes. So the next paper is up, and I'm not going to talk too much about this one, but you guys want to read this, and it's on excess profitability. And when you find companies that are way more profitable than the rest of the industry, right? There's a reason. It's called idiocentric profitability, and it can put a ton of cash in your pocket. You're just looking for the companies that are so much better than everybody else, um, that uh, and there's a reason for it, and it has to do with nothing to do with the industry, right? Like all the chip companies have nice margins right now because chips are in such demand and there's a shortage. Um, but when chips are not doing so great and you've got one that's earning a 30% return on equity and everybody else is earning 15, that's the stock you want to own in that industry. So the study goes into more detail on it. You got to get a little bit of complex, but you can break it down, and you can certainly use ChatGPT or Claude to break it down even further. But when you go through the list, you start to see there's something to this, because top of the lists by industry profitability are Apple, Amazon, Micron, uh, Walmart, Lilly, JP Morgan, best in class, right? And they got there because they're more profitable than everybody else. So idiocentric profitability is a real thing, and it's like critically important. So
Tim, one sec. Let me just answer this question. Big B is saying, do we get links to these papers? Unfortunately, I don't have links to any of these.
I have downloads on those. Sorry.
Yeah, Tim sent me the raw documents. So the only way I can give them to you is if you email me. I'll respond to your email with the documents. I wish I had an easier way to do it, but I don't. Big B.
Yeah,
sorry.
a lot of these are downloaded from pay databases, right? So I can pay for them, and then I can share them with people. But
and nobody's, just to be clear, nobody's complaining about that. I'm happy to do the extra legwork to put it in your hands, since Tim's
you'll take it in the form I give it to you, or you won't take it at all. Okay.
That's the Tim Melvin we were waiting for on a Wednesday.
All right. Well, I mean, it's a slow news day. There's not really, nobody's done.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody's told me to go back to bed. And Izzy only criticized the Orioles, but he's a Yankees fan. So, I mean, I understand the character flaw in his need to do that. It makes sense to me. Izzy, I hope you have a sense of humor, man.
He does. I can speak for him on that. He has a sense of humor.
So, and one thing I will point out, when you really, because I drilled down into this a little bit more and played with the numbers and the math and that, you start to get into companies like VeriSign and Lyft and Alta and Rockwell Automation that are off everybody's radar screen, but they are way better than everybody else in their industry right now as far as profitability and margins. So they're doing something other people in the industry aren't doing, maybe creating an opportunity. So I'm going to do this in two. What I got plenty of time. Okay, the first paper we're going to talk about next is the Bernstein paper, and this is goes right to the heart of commodities, and it's called Commodities, Real Assets, and the Return of the Physical Economy. And they make the argument in the paper. And by the way, I don't know who they hired over at AllianceBernstein, but they've gone from like this average mutual fund shop, just kind of to being an outstanding research shop over the last year or so. They're just putting out some great material. And they point out that, look, commodities, real assets have been kind of a neglected afterthought, right, to most people's portfolio. But the world is getting more physical, and it's getting more fragmented, and it's getting supply constrained. So their central thesis is that when we take AI, deglobalization, geopolitical instability, and we have that in spades all over the world, climate-related supply shocks, and I don't care if you want to argue about the cause, we'll do that some other day, but there are some climate issues going on that are messing with supply all over the world with different resources, right? You've got resource nationalism. We've seen countries start to really protect the resources that they have, get super selective about who they'll do business with. We're starting to see some of that, especially in Africa, which could be a problem for everybody. And then high government debt. All this points towards higher volatility, higher inflation, and a renewed focus on real assets. They're not just saying, hey, look at Iran, buy oil. They're arguing that some of the supply disruptions out there are recurring features of the investment landscape. So, and by the way, we've shifted so much that we are investing all of our capex, 8% of GDP here in the United States, in infrastructure for AI. But look, we're going to need power, we're going to need chips, we're going to need metal, we're going to need cooling, we're going to need infrastructure, and we're going to need land for all of this to happen. So 8% might just be the starting point, because this is going to be a larger demand, and it's going to be much more intense, and it's going to use a ton of commodities. Now they do something cool, and this is going to break Hamid's heart. They take gold out of the complex. They say gold is not going to treat that like a commodity, because increasingly, and I don't entirely agree with them, but I get their point. They view it as money, not a commodity. Okay, that there's so much declining trust in fiat institutions that gold is now a non-fiat reserve asset for a lot of nations and for a lot of individuals. Look, I don't know too many people that don't have a stash of gold buried somewhere, around the property or under the doghouse, or I guess I just ruined that hiding place for the whole world.
I mean, let's face it. I think there are a couple of movies that ruin that. I think
Yeah,
American
that's
Gangster
true.
ruined that. So you're off the hook, Tim. You're
The
good.
one thing I will tell you, if you're buying physical gold, also buy a safe, right? If you're buying physical gold, and I know if you do it at a brokerage firm, they say, "Oh, don't worry about it. We're going to keep it in our safe for you." Don't do that. It really defeats the whole purpose of having gold in a crisis. So, and they're saying, look, you don't just buy the Goldman Sachs commodity index or commodity fund. That's probably not going to be the answer here. Okay.
Yeah.
The indexes are weighted way towards energy. That's useful right now because we're having a little bit of an oil and gas shock, but they're looking at specifics, right? And they start with copper. They don't quite end with copper, but they're really big on industrial metals, and you have to be here, right? If you're a long-term investor and you're not looking seriously at copper, you don't understand the world that you're living in, right? Everything that we talk about is the super exciting new technologies, right? Changing, energy, renewable energy, traditional energy, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, electric vehicles, electrification of everything uses an enormous amount of copper. We don't have that much copper. We absolutely don't have that much copper in the United States, but the world doesn't have that much copper. If everything goes right, perfectly, no strikes, no wars, no floods, no earthquakes, none of that, we have a copper shortage starting about an hour ago, that will last 5 to 7 years, right? As production technology allows production to grow. And
Is that me? Producer, can you hear me? So it must just be Tim. Frozen for me too. I'm fine. Okay. So hey, at least my internet didn't drop today. We'll take the glass half full approach there. It looks like Tim is
if we have going,
no,
you were frozen.
Tim, can you
I
hear
was
me?
fine.
Tim.
I can't hear you. Yes.
You can hear me now. Okay, no, it per the viewers here, it looks like it was your connection, but we've got you back now.
Okay, it was
so
my
just keep
all right.
going.
Well, okay, so keep rolling. So anyway, copper's the big deal. That's what you need to be looking at. Food is also going to be a huge deal. All right, food over the next 10 to 15 years. That's why we're looking at, particularly in deep value portfolios, we're looking at a lot of food and agricultural stocks, because they are ridiculously cheap, and it's not just in the U.S., it's globally, but also Latin America. Now, we say this about every decade or so, and it just kind of fizzles out. But maybe, just maybe, because the demand is so intense for so many commodities, this is going to be the time where Latin America finally shines, right? Because Latin America is a collection of incredibly incompetent and corrupt governments. There's absolutely no question about that, right? And they've always just kind of floundered along. They've had the problems, but they're comparable to Africa. They run second to Africa, but they're comparable in the amount of just resources and the ability to produce food. at just very high rates. So this could be the time for Latin America, which means you probably want to be looking, at the Latin American utilities, at the banks, BLX, CIB, BAP, as all outstanding long-term opportunities because somebody's going to finance this stuff, right? And it's going to be to a very large degree local banks. I'm a big fan of CIB in Colombia and always have been. That is a fantastic bank. I'm just looking for my notes. In the U.S., you've got to have your eye on Freeport McMoran, Southern Copper, and some of the smaller copper producers that are traded here in the United States.
This FCX chart just looks awesome. It just looks like breakout incoming right now.
People are underestimating how big copper is going to be, right? If we have any adverse geopolitical events in copper producing regions, any adverse weather, earthquake, shocks, disruptions to the system, the copper shortage becomes kind of semi-permanent, right? So we're going to be running from behind the 8 ball for a long time. We better find a whole bunch of copper right now laying on top of the surface here in the United States, or start to repair some trade relationships with big copper producers, because the average time from, hey, I think there's copper in there, let's go look, to, here's your first spoonful of copper, 17 years, right? So you don't just build a copper mine overnight. Even in places where they don't care how much damage you do to the environment or ripping up the surface of the earth, which you do all of that. So it's a resource that we have to start devoting a lot more attention to in your portfolio. That means that anytime there's weakness in the copper market, you should be a buyer. And there's, I can't give the tickers away, but there's a couple of smaller, really fast growing U.S. based copper mines that are worthy of your attention because they have outstanding fundamental momentum. And then our final paper for today, Ryan, is banks. This one is on banks. I love this. McKinsey & Corporation did a paper on global banking industry 2026. And I don't agree with everything in the paper, but they do take an objective look and they make me stop and think about a couple of things. And they reinforce, of course, a couple of points that I've made on banks. Now, we don't think a lot about banks when we're trading, right? We want quantum, we want AI, we want the exciting stuff. Somebody's financing all this stuff, guys, and it's probably banks. Right. So as we look at the global banking industry, it is in incredibly solid shape. Globally, you guys ready for this? Globally, banking produced more net income than any other industry in the world. Net interest margins, because of low rates all over the world, they stayed pretty steady. They went up like a little bit in the United States, a little bit in Japan, but not a lot anywhere. There's banks produce just crazy terms of surplus free cash flow. Dividends were the rule of the day, as were buybacks across most of the world. However, McKinsey points out that we are at a major tipping point for banks, right? The banking world is changing. And it is changing rapidly. And, a lot of the bankers here in the United States, community banks, are sitting around, and this is going to make me an enormous amount of money over the next several years. It would you guys too, if you'd listen to me about it, but you won't because it's super boring. But banking is going to change, and eventually it's going to filter down to the community bank level, and it's going to create an absolute need for scale. You're going to have to be a bigger or faster, more nimble bank. And that's, your average community banker still has tassels on his loafers and cuffs on his pants. So fast and nimble does not necessarily apply to that guy.
Tim, do you have any tickers for us for some of these banks?
We're going to do that. We're going to do some international banks that what we did here, and because we are going to run out of time, but just read the study because they get into stable coins and the role they can play in emerging and secondary markets, right? And I remain convinced that you guys are all going to, Melvin's wrong. I do know what I'm talking about. We just don't agree. there's no need inside the United States banking system or financial system, for that matter, for stablecoins. We just don't need them. They don't serve a function that we can't already do. And if we allow them to pay interest rates and they suck deposits out of U.S. banks, you're suddenly going to find that you can't get a loan anymore, because it's going to dramatically shrink the supply of credit, because deposits are what banks use to make loans. Anyway, there's a chain of thought there. Just follow it.
Real quick, if you want any of these studies, I'll throw all 4 of them in an email. Just shoot me an email. I put it up on the screen here. Email me when I get some time today. I'll respond to your email with the attachments that Tim provided here.
Yeah, but now, if I'm a U.S. manufacturer and I'm transacting with companies in Latin America, Colombia, right, where there's all sorts of turmoil, anywhere in Africa, a lot of the southeastern nations, the idea that I can transact back and forth, both get and give money in stable coins that are backed by U.S. dollar deposits, has tremendous value. Okay, so there's a role for stable coins in here. There's a lot of fintech stuff going on, both partnerships and other things. But let's look at some of the banks here that are fast, they're nimble, and they're growing very, very quickly. Now, I have to clear out 1 second here on my little screen thing. Give me just 1 second, because U.S. banks that are showing high growth are almost universally 1 second, right? I'm making a mess of things here. Surprise.
Almost. We were used to that, so.
Yeah, no, it's me and technology. We're not great friends, Okay, there we go. The faster growing banks in terms of book value, which is the only real way to measure growth in banks in the United States, tend to be thrift conversions, which are these dinky, tiny little banks that just converted from a mutual thrift and added a ton of capital to their balance sheet. They're not really growing because they're doing very cool stuff. So first off, we have to talk about the new banks, NU, Wise Group, WSE. These are banks that are doing great stuff in digital banking, payments, and that sort of thing. Revolt is not yet public, but they're one of the fastest growing banks in the world today. But we just want to take a look now at some of the banks that are growing book value at a rapid rate. Now, why am I using book value and not earnings or something equally cool like that? The simple truth is, from $1 in the door to the book value of the bank, right? That's the fact they need to be related, because if I bring $1 in the bank and I don't get some increase in book value, I've wasted and lost a lot of money. I have a high efficiency ratio. I'm not processing. I'm not innovating. I'm not attracting deposits. The relationship is true in every business. It's more true in banks. So some of the banks that are just growing book value at really fast rates, new bank has to be on your list. But then we're looking things like GGAL out of Argentina that is really doing a great job of adopting to technology, and it's also a play on the Argentinian recovery. So
GGAL, that's the Argentinian one. So I've got NU, WSE, GGAL, and Duty, you did call NU before he said that.
And WSE.
And WSE, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and new banks, by the way, I mean, that thing can go up, it can go down. I don't care. It's going to be a 10-bagger at some point. Unless something dramatic happens in Latin America, they're growing at an alarming rate. And the adoption, because remember what Latin America looks like, right? I mean, they've got intense cities, populations, dense population areas, and then it's all spread out. Right. So digital banking makes a lot more sense than branch banking. And now you've got whole countries basically that really didn't have universal access to banking, where because of digital bank, that can begin to be offered. So new bank is one of those ones that just has the potential to be a massive winner. HDB out of India, which is HDFC.
HTB?
HD.
HDB. Got it. Yeah, sorry.
Henry Dog Boy. I'm just kind of looking down some of these other ones. Greece banks, but that's never ended well for me. Unicredit is doing a fantastic job on technology, UNCRY, and they're growing book at a very high rate. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for these banks that can grow the book value at very high rates, that are they're adopting technology, they're making it work for them, they're adding fintech, they're adding payments processing. Payments are going to the problem that everybody's worried about in banking, and this has to be a concern, right? As the world gets faster, deposits get less sticky, right? Because if I live out in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, right, I tend to leave my money in the local Equitable Bank branch out there in Grand Rapids, Nebraska, because I don't want to drive all the way into Lincoln to do my banking, right? So my deposits stay right there. Besides which, I went to college with the president of the bank, and my kids play little league with the loan officer's kids. I'm just gonna leave the deposits there, and whatever. But as this all shrinks the world and it becomes faster, all of a sudden I'm looking around going, hey, they're only paying me 2. And this guy over here in this internet bank is going to give me 4. So why am I still taking 2 when I can get 4? So that's kind of one of the things that banks are worried about. So, and that's going to create a deposit bleed, which will eventually have the effect of reducing book value. So that's the kind of thing you want to look for when you're screening. Look for book value growth. Start from there, work your way down. The real big, oh boy, opportunities are going to be in Asia and Latin America. Right, the banks in those countries, and I use MZU Financial out of Japan, MFG. They're on the cutting edge of all this. They're in Japan, which is a very developed country, but they're doing business all over Asia. So that's kind of what you want to look for. Is you find those opportunities for banks that are going to serve these explosive growth markets and that are doing it in a way where the credit is not eroding book value, where the deposits are staying in the bank. These have the potential to be massive winners. FANDY, and there, this will be real popular. This is First Rand Bank. It's a South African bank, but they're doing some pretty cool stuff throughout the region, financing a lot of very high growth industries and segments around the South African region. So from a pure growth point of view, banks offer some extraordinary opportunities, but you have to know how to measure it.
Okay.
So anyway, the paper's there. That is a great paper. If you only read 2 of these, it should be the software paper and the banking paper. Those are by far the 2 most important papers.
And I see a bunch of requests here from folks. I will get to that as soon as the show is over. Tim, thank you very much. Thanks as always.
All right, and 13, sorry I took 2 minutes of your time. I'm not giving them back, but I am really, really, from the bottom of my heart, I'm very sorry.
He'll live.
Have a great day, everybody. Go Orioles. Yankees are in first place. We'll see how long that lasts. See you guys next week.
All right. Take care, Tim. Really good stuff from you, as always. We are going to have another webinar next Tuesday night with Tim. So if anyone's interested in that, I'd be happy to share that link as well. Okay. As mentioned, 13 is rip roaring to go, but we got a tweet to cover. I want to show it to you. Street Tweets is right now. All right, saw this tweet floating around yesterday. We've been talking a lot about the IPOs, in particular the SpaceX IPO, and I understand that it might be difficult for you to see the graphic itself because it's kind of a verbose one. I'm going to link the tweet itself right here in the chat so you can go to it yourself if that's easier. But I'll tell you what's going on here. Truist Keith Lerner took a look at 30 major IPOs. And this tweet says that the 1-year max drawdown column stands out. Now, producer, I don't know if you made this a little bit bigger. Yep, you did. You already have it on the screen there. Absolutely beautiful. Take a look at this chart. All of the big IPOs, every single one of them, their 1-year drawdown or their 1-year performance is in fact a drawdown. Every single one of them. So now some of these have gone on to be unbelievable, right? Just absolutely unbelievable. But sometimes it takes a little bit. So when we ask about how are you trading some of these IPOs, are you buying it for the long-term investment right on IPO day, or are you buying it to trade it? A lot of folks had talked about, I want to wait on these IPOs until they bottom and then buy them. To me, that's where I think the move is for investing. But I think some of these might be tradable early on. Just something to keep in mind. We talk a lot about this. There's a lot of hype around them. Year one max drawdown here, pretty much all in the red. Marcus, the ABC Squared, saying check the returns 5 years out on IPOs. And that's kind of the point here. Indeed, a lot of these companies, especially the ones on this list, outperforming 5 years down the road. But that's part of the whole time horizon thing here, right? Have that in mind. How long is this trade? Have that figured out before you buy it. Okay. Good stuff, though. Thought that tweet was really interesting. Now, folks, it's time. Let's do pre-market pulse right now. Okay, I don't know why because we had to change the scene there. We're good. Yeah, I was surprised too. 13. Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine. That list was a little disappointing. It didn't have Kava on there.
Ah, that's a good one.
That should be at the top of the list. That thing would add. That thing had
was that a major IPO?
I don't know if you can consider it a major IPO. Probably not. But
see, okay. So first of all, just as an aside here, looking back at that chart, I don't know what this person used as their criteria for a major IPO. I did not think going into the Kava IPO, I know we kind of talked about it because we had a guy that was invested in it early in happy hour, and we talked about it a little bit. I didn't view that as a major one, but that's a really good counterpoint to this chart, 13.
What are those numbers with Palantir? They're all positive. I don't understand the numbers with Palantir. They're all positive, and it's showing a 53% 1 year max drawdown.
Because it drew down in that period. The max drawdown in that period.
Oh, I thought these were going up over this period of time.
The red number is going down.
I understand that. Look at Palantir. They're all black numbers until you get over to the 1 year max drawdown. So
yeah, but didn't it still have a drawdown in that year? I think that's what it's saying there.
Well, then it would have showed up on that chart.
Yeah, okay, I guess I shouldn't have shared this one. I can't tell you where
sorry, I'm just scrutinizing.
Jeez, I mean, come on, tough crowd today, for heaven's sakes. I think
we should move on to the movers.
I think what this is trying to say here is that if you and this is how I've been approaching this, if you are looking to invest in one of these for the long haul, it's probably worth waiting out a drawdown that you're likely to see, as opposed to just piling in on IPO date and calling it a day. That's, I think, the case that's being made here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when it comes to SpaceX, I don't think I'm going to be, buying hand over fist the first day either.
Yeah, that's my whole point, right? I might trade it on that first day, but I'm going to wait for that to maybe settle out a little bit before we start talking about investment. Yeah, Lion saying 13 came. Watch out. Indeed, I better not say anything here. Or just be really careful here. That was.
It didn't have Cobb on there, so it set me off.
Yeah, no kidding. Do not deny the man.
It was a good short. I'm a little disappointed it wasn't there.
Do not deny the man his Mediterranean food. Okay, let's knock out these movers. We'll start here with XOS. We've actually already had some interest in XOS. I think a few people are already on this. XOS shares, the ticker is XOS, X-Ray, Oscar, Sierra. XOS shares are trading higher after the company announced the launch of its 2.5 megawatt power hub. Okay, so if you want to look into what that actually is and all of that, I actually looked into this one a little bit, so I want to hear 13's rundown, then I'll give you a little bit on the top. Quick look around the horn here on some of the stats. 11.94% of the float shorted with 1 day to cover. The day to cover really kind of dropped there, so it has some short interest in there, but not high on either metric, and certainly not high on both metrics. On average, it trades just over 500,000 shares. It's traded 24.5 million shares here today, and the float is 6 million. What do you got here, XOS?
Well, this is going to be probably one of the newer data center plays you might want to keep an eye on here, because there's a lot of different communities and residencies that are just not wanting data centers built in their area. So,
not in my backyard.
Right, a lot of NIMBY happening. So there's a lot of questions about, is this data center build out going to even happen? If people are going to push back on it, if we have to build out in a remote area, how are we going to get power and infrastructure out there? This could be part of that solution, since they have this these mobile power stations. You see them a lot of times at fairgrounds and big events like that and whatnot. But these are basically hybrid systems that run on natural gas and also battery storage. They can produce up to 4 megawatts, which is great because you stack several of these together and you've got enough for a data center. And I think this is like a temporary solution to bridge the gap with the rising power demand that's siphoning off of communities, that's causing electric bills to spike, and getting that data center build out going to where it's going to at least mitigate some of those effects. This seems like part of that solution. So anyway, I'm kind of interested in this. We'll see how this ends up working out. But 2.5 megawatts for a portable piece of hardware, I think that's substantial. Now, as far as the company goes, it does have revenue. It does have about 2 quarters left of cash. It just had earnings last month where they guided a little bit beneath their the midpoint beneath their the estimates. So I don't know if they're going to start to see like a big spike in sales now that they've got this new power hub, but certainly something to watch for. With regard to the chart, we did have a resistance area at 715. We're losing the 65 EMA now. It looks like we may end up heading lower towards this next area of support, which to me looks like it's going to be about 550.
Okay, so that's going to be right in about here. Yeah, looks good.
The after hours highs, that's now support.
Yep, absolutely. That looks good here to me. I also did look for a potential fair value gap on this. Didn't have anything of note, so not really looking at that here for today. As far as the catalyst here on this, it's potentially positive here for XOS. It's still an early stage commercial announcement rather than proof of durable earnings power. So while I agree 13's outlook there, this does seem like a bridge because it's a productized system rather than like a custom integration project. So if that works in practice, it should reduce friction for some of those customers who need to just get power fast. And I do think that's something that could be very beneficial. It could actually work quite well. The only other thing is that this move today, 237%, this move is likely part of this move, I should say, is a reaction that they're moving from the niche EV market to the more robust data center market. And I think that's one of the reasons you're seeing the market really kind of reward this here today. This is a good story, but it still depends on execution, and it's just not there yet. So don't get caught up too early in this. That being said, movement looks good. 13 just gave you a whole bunch of really good spots. We'll see how this ends up shaking out here today.
Trey Blue is asking, is this a battery company or a generator company? Yes.
Both.
I posted a link to their website.
Their platform handles both, from what I understand.
Yeah, and I posted a link to their website if you want to check it out for yourself. Lots of good information on there, including the vehicles themselves. So, and then I know you've seen this before if you've ever been to a fairground.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff there. Zach says reaction hype won't sustain it yet, and I think that's one of the worries, right? That's what we're trying to say here for this kind of being a mover here for today.
Yep.
Okay. What else did you have on your list?
I looked at WCT.
Perfect. We'll do that one next here. This is Well Change Holdings. This thing spiked in the after hours. This is a Hong Kong name, huh? Hong Kong name spiked up to 3 yesterday, came back in. It's leaked a little bit here today. This looks like this was moving on the software strength.
Yeah. And if you recall back to what we were talking about yesterday with the Chinese and I guess the Hong Kong names as well, I think this is going to be, we're going to see a lot more of these, Hong Kong and China names get pumped up like this on no news because of that upcoming event that they have at the beginning of this summer. So, and we could also go into talking about BABA if you want with regard to that event. But I think that you were going to see a lot more of these China and Hong Kong names move on no news as their market gets propped up going into the Tiananmen Square anniversary.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit? I know we discussed that yesterday on Happy Hour.
Yeah, and I wish I had a little bit better context for the Tiananmen Square, but the 618 event, that's a little bit easier to understand. 618 refers to a little bit of I don't even know if I could call it a holiday, but it's an event in China where it's a shopping event in China that happens in the middle of June. And for the reason that of these two things happening so close to each other, you do get a really good run up in stocks, Chinese stocks. Starting at about this month, and they tend to go on a bit of a rally over the summer. Baba in particular.
Let me share the chart from yesterday, 13, because I think this will really illustrate what we were talking about. This was part of what we were discussing. Yeah. We were talking about seasonality here. Mm-hmm. So here's the first one. This seasonality might be difficult for you to see. I'm sorry about that. The date range here is May 30th through June 8th. The seasonality for Baba here is extremely high. 80% of the time, the trades are going to be wins with an average profit of about 6%. Now, what 13 was just talking about is after this, right? So we get that move up, then we get a little regression move, and it seems to happen in the same time frame. But after this, we've got June 13th through July 28th, and this too also very positive. 80% chance of a win rate, 6% average profit on that trade.
So the seasonality for a lot of these, China names are pretty good, particularly for Baba. Yep. It's a big name, and the Chinese market gets propped up during this time to take the focus off of the Tiananmen Square issue.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So now, anyway, back to WCT, since we kind of shined that one for a bit. It's moving on no news. But I thought it was interesting because when I looked at the daily chart, it came down to the 200-day SMA, and it found support there, and we just turned around and started going back up. Where did we find? Were we finding resistance right about now? Oh, we were a moment ago before we just dropped. It was at the 20-day SMA, which was 185. That particular area was I was looking at for as support. Not anymore. We've lost that support. We've come down to the 200. EMA on the 5-minute, 165 was my next support. Looks like we're losing that. This may completely come back in, and I wouldn't touch it until maybe we could look at it after the open, because we've seen plenty of times these China names kind of weaken in the open or towards the open after they've had a run in the pre-market, and then later on they go on these runs. Sometime later on in the morning. We saw it yesterday. I forgot what the name of that one was. I don't think it was BSA. I think that was the bad one. I think it was DXST.
DXST. That sounds familiar.
It was one of those. Like they tend to go on these runs later on in the day when they're these China pumps. So that could be something we end up seeing with WCT as well. I wouldn't touch it right now, but keep it on your radar after the open. It might turn around.
Okay. All right. Next one on the list here is going to be SDOT. This is Sadat Group. Did you have this one covered?
I was engaged with that conversation you and Tim were having, so those are the only two I covered. We can look at SDOT live, though.
Totally fine. SDOT here, Sadat Group. This actually traded up towards $8. Couldn't quite get there. Came back in, retraced about 50%, is curling and is moving through the VWAP, so we'll see. Let's see. We had a Form 8. Haven't gone through this yet. I'll have to look and see. Designation of preferred stock. Let me go through that when I have a little bit more time. It is up 65% here. 20.7% of the float is shorted with 1 day to cover. On average, stock trades 500,000 shares, done 13 million today. Float's a micro float, 743K in the float there.
Yeah, they just did a 1 for 20 reverse split on.
That's okay. So it's a reverse.
May 27th. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Very, very recent. Probably one of the reasons why we're getting this movement at all here today. They also have some short interest. The days to cover been smacked down to 1 day with the reverse split, but apparently the short interest is still over 20%. So we could see some pretty good moves here. We have climbed over the VWAP. So if we continue to hold that, we might see some higher prices. I think 665 and 775 are going to be, maybe even 7. Those 3 resistance areas look like the next stops here for SDOT. If we start losing VWAP, I'd be keeping an eye on the $5 area for support.
Okay. Good stuff there. SDOT. Next on the list is going to be Lassie. This is Laser Photonics. What a massive day yesterday.
Just talked about it, too, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And actually, I think we were trading this yesterday a little bit too. Okay, so this actually traded great yesterday. Went higher in the after hours. Excuse me. It does look like it tried that area again here today. I have that at about 366, but if you want to call it 370, that'll work. We did use the 65 EMA as support here when we pulled back, but this looks like at least wants to test and try and go higher here. It's up 51% here today. Let's see what we had here. The defense contract and the after hours rally after prototyping under the steel orange says that this validates here. This is the quote I was looking for. This validates mission relevance and readiness, the directed energy technology. So pretty good news on this one. It looks like it's running 160% yesterday, another 51% here today, so perhaps a little extended. 5.35% of the float is shorted, 1.14 days to cover. I think that's negligible, fairly negligible on the short interest. What do you think on this one, 13?
I mean, I think the best anti-drone technology is going to be lasers. There's nothing that's going to change my mind. You could argue EMP. You could argue a number of different things. I think the most low-cost, effective means of anti-drone technology is going to be lasers. So I like this one. I like any other company that's involved in directed energy as a weapon system. So I think that the lasers are really good trade, and this might continue higher. I don't have a whole lot on where this goes right now, but I've got some levels of the upside, many actually. A bunch in the 4 handle, a bunch in the 5 handle. I don't see this not going higher, to be honest. It's just a matter of time.
Okay, that's for these movers. That's about as bullish as we get on them. So okay, Trey agrees with you. Okay. Next one here, or I guess the only other one that we wanted to cover here, I guess you guys can correct me. Xena.
Hey, Xena's on there. Hubc's on there. A lot of the names we've been looking on there that we know about are up today. And Xena was one I was also taking a look at here, but I didn't follow the news. Oh, it's earnings. Okay. Yeah.
Q1 earnings here this morning. The EPS was a 36-cent loss. They did $6 million in sales, so not a whole lot. Drones as a service, market surge, AI automation. So they had another PR here. Okay, so excuse me, I was kind of sorting through that. 640% increase in first quarter revenue. Now that 640% went to only 6 million, so it is what it is. But a pretty good move higher here, and an increase in that revenue. That's what's driving this higher here. We've interviewed the CEO here before, someone from the team here before. 4.2% of the float shorted with 1 day to cover. On average, the stock trades 2.5 million shares. I don't know why I don't have a volume reading here today. 13, you got anything on this? I'm going to refresh Pro.
I was just reading through their PR drop here to see if there's, if they expect any kind of, ramp up in sales or anything like that. I expect they will, but I'm not seeing anything in particular. They're just talking about their Xena Drone 1000 platform. I would have to spend some time looking at this, but this is a company that's getting a lot of attention in the drone space.
Yep.
I think when it comes to their chart, and this is nice, we finally are trading back above the 20-day SMA. The big challenge, I think, is going to be getting back above $2. That's a big resistance area, I think. I think that's what we're going to want to keep an eye on for Xena Tech. We get back above $2 and start holding above that, I think we could be back in business here with this company.
Okay, perfect. What else do you have? You anything else you want to cover here? We've got 7 minutes till we open. I need to use the washroom here. Anything you want me to put on screen?
Well, we could look at Hubc, and I also see that Navitas is on there. And I mean, a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these names that we've been talking about, they're up today.
Navitas semiconductor name up about 22%.
And that's probably going with Marvell. Right?
Yeah, I would say so. Marvell's moving on the mention from Jensen.
Yeah, amazing how you can just kind of move a stock like that just by saying, oh, yeah, I think it's worth this much.
Yeah, well, Jensen, I think it's who said it, to be quite honest with you.
There you go. Perfect. Danielle asking about USAR. This is one I've been talking
All right,
about.
perfect. I'm going to throw this on the screen. 13. I'll be right back.
Okay, USAR. Hey, here we go. One of the things that we needed to see with this stock after we turned around from hitting the 50-day SMA, there's a consolidation area that goes from about $25 to what we could call it 29. That range there was basically established from the price action in October. So we have a little bit of a consolidation channel that when we came back up here in January, we made it through, but came right back down. Same thing happened in May. Tough area to get through. Now we're finally trading above this, making some closes above this channel. I think this is a good sign, because if we can continue to hold above this channel, which I think as long as we hold above 30 would be a good spot, I think this goes to back up to the highs that we were seeing last year. I could see 40, 44. The rare earths issue is not solved, folks. And with this ongoing supply chain issue and back and forth finger pointing between the U.S., China, and all these other countries, I think that the rare earths are going to still come under pressure, especially if there's no deal made between the U.S. and China with regard to rare earths. I don't think that's a done deal either. So this is still an ongoing issue, and I expect that this will continue to go up until we have some supply chain pressures alleviate. Might come up to some resistance around 32. Now, if we get that and we start to come back in, we're going to want to see that support at 30. The calls in Micron are expensive, but they are printing huge money. Yeah. Oh, is there news on USAR this morning? I'll look and see what that was. Oh, look at that. We do have a nice looking candle there. Finalized definitive agreements with U.S. Department of Commerce, unlocking access to up to $1.6 billion to advance leading rare earth value chain. Well, there you go. Thank you very much, Danielle. Didn't see that piece of news this morning, but USAR and CRML have been two names that have been keeping a close eye on. This one has been doing fantastic. CRML has been lagging.
Okay, and Jay here saying NVIDIA made an announcement on Navitas.
How about that? Another stock that's moving from NVIDIA saying something. From
an NVIDIA blessing, indeed. Computex Navitas semiconductor shares are trading higher after the company announced its participation in NVIDIA's partner ceremony at Computex in Taipei.
There it is.
That's your news for you on NVTS. And looking at the daily chart, this was a great pullback to the 20-day. And with that catalyst here today, higher we go.
Do you see the trend line? I have this started from June 11th, 2025. I have it going through the high of October 20th. And
yeah, I see it.
The extended, we just got rejected here, but since we're coming back up to this trend line again, I'd be anticipating a break over it.
There you go. All right, less than 3 minutes till we open here.
Intel might be good today too. Intel's probably going to be good for a while. I'm sure you'll see back and forth, but I think Intel's back, baby. Medtronic had good earnings. I saw that they had some. I think they had like mixed earnings, but there was like some device that they some announcement for a device they had. I think it was like a patent, or let me look at the news instead of trying to remember what it was. Let's see here. Okay, so they didn't have mixed earnings. They just barely beat on EPS. I thought there was some other. Okay, yeah, the Hugo robotic assisted surgery system. That's what it was. Sorry?
I was reading the news, but you started reading it. Right,
yeah, it's that Hugo robotic assisted surgery system. I think that's what's causing it to go here. Because initially we went down on earnings, and then that news came out and we went up.
They also announced strategic investments to the expansion of their cardiac ablation portfolio. They had a couple updates here.
Yeah, EKS, that's the new surgical robot. That's Hugo. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. I think that's really what's driving this today.
Okay.
LASE getting a lift here.
I was going to say, I'm going to move over to the main workspace here as we're getting ready to open.
And sorry for going off on that graphic earlier. It was just I was like, why is Kava not on there? That thing had such a huge drawdown.
All good.
AMKR filled entire earnings gap. These semi names got sold on a P-Lab report. I'll have to look and see what that P-Lab report is. Unless it's a typo.
Intel, new highs here in the pre-market right ahead of the open.
Speaking of new highs, you see that BlackBerry hit 12 overnight?
Yeah, and in fact, Jay was mentioning that earlier here.
That's what I was looking for. Looking for 10 to 12. We got it. Thank you, BlackBerry. All done.
So are you out of that completely? You feel like that's been a long-term one. Good job.
Yep. All done. Now, if this comes back in and forms a base, I might be compelled to go again because I don't think that this is quite finished yet. But I think for now, 12 is about as high as I would expect this to go. I think they're going to have some other kind of news, or there's going to have to be some other sector-wide catalyst. I know that there was what company was it that reported earnings that I think it was a day or two ago. We're open a day or two ago that had that was part of the cybersecurity. I think it was PanW. Right?
Palo Alto was this week. Went higher. I was asking, that was last night.
Yeah.
Went higher, reversed, and came. Now this actually is going to push lower. So I was asking the group earlier, who's looking to buy this today for a potential move higher on PanW?
And LASE new highs, looking for 4. Looks like there's a bit of a trend line we could draw with some of the price action we've had. Actually went right up to that trend line and backed off. But if we do go over this trend line and hold above it, I think we'll see more into the 4 handle. Xena coming in. So is XOS and WCT.
Palo Alto also coming in here. Oh, Xena, that was a big pull. What was the other one? XOS, sorry.
Looks like there's going to be a support area coming for Xena here if it gets down to 160.
Apple back up to 315 right out of the open. Ooh.
LASE went right to 399 and is backed off. It is back beneath VWAP. I think I'm just going to kind of wait this open out here and see where the chips fall.
Yeah, I don't blame you. SPY trading up to the VWAP there right now. Ondas rug pull that is straight down out of the open.
Okay, so a little bit of support coming in XOS and WCT. We'll see if those hold. VSH and VSG been rocket ships.
Marvell, that dipped a little bit. Haven't seen anything crazy on the options yet either.
So Xena went to the 65 EMA. We'll see if that can get some support from there. There's also a buyer right there at 160. As long as the selling volume doesn't pick up, I don't think they're going to move that buyer. They just took a chunk out of them. Okay, well, they're volume just immediately just picked right up and shot through that guy.
Look at this pull on Xena, almost a complete round trip there.
Yep. So I'm just looking to see where we're going to get support. Thought we might get it at 65. Didn't happen. We'll see if we get it to 200.
Palo Alto 280s now as that pulls back as well. Trey here saying Palo Alto already ran too much. I'm watching ZS after a mostly good quarter. If it holds 125 here, possible double bottom forming on the daily. That's ticker ZS.
LASE. That's back up, looking to hit 4. There's a seller there. Looks like WCT trying to turn around here. It's at 160. XOS is turning around here, trying to get back above the 65 EMA.
Let's go. I got VWAP there at 739 if it can really get going.
I think the resistance might be around 750.
Okay. You think it goes through 7 here?
If it gets through 7, I think 750 is going to be the spot. You look, see that support right before 815. We just kind of had this support shelf, and then we lost it. It took us down to the 65 EMA. That's the resistance I'm looking for next.
Yep. So I see that clear as day, and the VWAP's not far from that 13, so maybe it does make a move for that. Apple just wow. WDC just wow. That's Western Digital, right? So here, let's take a look at that here real quick. I'll go back to XOS for those of you that are trading at Western Digital. Popped right out of the gate. Didn't we have someone yesterday asking about STX? Yeah, they bought several shares at 400 and it's at 950. It's about at the same price. Yeah. Sorry, 13?
No, I was saying somebody had mentioned it because we were also talking about some of the storage names, and that's one of them. All right, XOS was knocking on the door of 7 just a second ago. It'd be great if we do get that move up to 750 on this one. Xena trying to turn around now, looking to move back over VWAP. Looks like S dot is also trying to climb higher. LASE can't seem to get back above, or can't get up to 4 yet. We did hit 399, hasn't gone higher since.
I'm sorry, was that Hub C that you said?
No, LASE.
Oh, LASE, I'm sorry.
Yep. They're trying to keep XOS from going up to 7, but let's see what happens.
So sorry, I'm skipping around too much here. I think I'm going to leave XOS until this thing either breaks down or makes that punch to the VWAP.
Okay.
See about that 650 area. That looks to be the bad spot. If it drops beneath that, we might want to wait it out. Aslaf saying Nvidia's pulling back here today.
WCT starting to move. Okay. There it is. Just had to wait. LASE coming in.
Oh, that SPY totally reversed too. So that move up to the VWAP, we are right. In fact, let me go to that here real quick. We reversed hard and are right back down to the pre-market lows here on SPY.
Was there, I guess that there's news that hasn't hit this.
Well, there was a data print earlier, 13, and I was out, but that was when I was on with Tim.
Okay.
Yeah, ADP non-farm employment change for May 122 versus the 118. So that was the only news that was up earlier. I haven't seen anything else since then.
Yeah, and this is this is a week where we're going to get employment data. We got the JOLTS report yesterday. I think Challengers tomorrow, and then we have the BLS on Friday.
Yep, big ones on Friday. Was anyone trading Hub C? I know we mentioned this a little bit earlier. It's the penny stock. It looks like it might be going for dollar territory though.
S dot is halted to the upside.
Ooh, and I didn't even see that get reported here. Let me go to S dot.
And thanks, Wiz, for mentioning HTCO is also halted up. And big drop with out of the gate there with Cooler. GXAI, one we were looking at earlier this week, that's come up this morning. I'm just looking at some of these other ones while we wait for these others to do something.
Yep, all good.
Xena kind of just hanging out down here.
Real quick, the market is indeed pulling here. Lion saying, is there any news on the war? The most recent thing I saw here was Hezbollah fired rockets on Israeli soldiers in northern Israel. That is the recent thing that I've seen here. Royal Navy helicopter crashes. Okay. What else do we look at? Oh, so this is still halted, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry, I had that on the wrong screen there.
LASE getting weaker. If this continues to come in below the open, there's some support at the 65 EMA, which I have at 323.
Rivian at the day highs from yesterday. Navitas, this looking like this might try and take out that pre-market high. This basically pulled back to the VWAP and held that area.
RGTZ, great mention. That thing is rocketing right now as Rigetti gets hammered. I know some folks have been waiting for this to finally turn around here. Maybe this is their day.
Yeah.
XOS looking a little bit weaker now.
Let's see. I was like, I'm going to take it off the screen and it's going to do something. I took it off the screen and nothing happened yet. So, okay, so we're still inside this candle, right? It's the break of this candle is going to determine where we're going next. That's the thought here, I'm assuming.
LASE beneath the open now. Keep an eye on that 65 EMA. Doesn't look like. Oh wow. Okay, here's another one. This is the one from yesterday that I just talked about.
DXCT.
DXST. Yeah.
DXST. Ah, I was close.
This is halted to the upside. Silly. Silly. I don't even know what it's halted on. I didn't even bother to look. LASE coming down to the 65 EMA. Go Marvel long. Palantir trying to fill that gap. I'm going to look at Palantir and see what this gap is referring to. Is it an upside gap, a downside gap? It looks like it might be a downside gap given the direction this price is going.
Another 4% here for Palantir. I think is it the gap down to 144?
It looks like it's a very small gap from between Thursday and Friday last week. But hey, how about that? We went right up to the 200-day SMA, got rejected, lost 160, and we're coming back down to 142. That's where I think the support will be. In and out of GLW. Nice, babies.
Navitas did end up bouncing and going higher, although it's pulling after setting that new high. This might not be done here today. Good job on those calls there, too.
Yep. Again, the turnaround here possibly with XOS is trying to get back above its 65 EMA as I speak. Have I seen the short interest in Hub C? I think we may have looked at that earlier in the week.
Was that the one that was gigantic, that was like 80% or whatever?
Well, according to this, it's 94.86%.
Yeah, so it's the one that's gigantic. So I was wrong on the actual number, but that's huge.
Yeah, so basically almost the entire float is shorted, which is wild.
And XOS here, it's about to lose this candle.
Oh, yeah, that got a big rejection at the 65.
Yeah, it did. And actually, it's trying to hold it still. I don't think this one's really kind of picked the direction it wants to go yet, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but I don't like the way this this whole formation looks from the
neither do I
run into the highs of the pre-market, and now we're coming back down. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's already up 200%, so a pullback. I mean, that makes sense, right? Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if this thing came down to somewhere between 125 and 525 and 550.
Okay. And that we talked about that as being a possible support area at the open when we not at the open when we broke down the movers, right? You said 550 was the support area.
I might have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did because that was the previous highs from the after hours yesterday.
Yes, that's right.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. Apple all-time high, Big Mama cranking still. Ondas continuing to pull. Yikes.
LASE finding support from the 65 EMA. We'll see if it can get back above VWAP. That is at 365.
Lassie up 43%. After a big move yesterday. We roll through some of these others here. A quick look at the market. Everything pulling here. NASDAQ came in from its high. SPY's on the lows as we speak. Dow kind of in the middle there. S&P futures on that reversal continue to push new lows here. That was a rejection at VWAP.
Yes, Zach. 12 is important. That has been the big resistance area. We talked about this previously. We on the weekly chart, or it was the weekly or the monthly. I think it was the weekly chart. We needed to see one of these weekly candles finally close over 12, and that was going to lead us up to 15. So far, so good. We just need to have 12 hold, and if we get that hold, maybe we trade sideways for a couple of days. I still think we get 15, but this move through 12 that turned it from a resistance level. Because look at how many times it's rejected that price. It turned it from a resistance level into a support. We need to see 12 hold up.
It's going straight to it. Nasty pull here for Ondas, down 10%. Marvell continues to come in. This is actually Lion. Didn't you say this was coming into 300? Let's go Marvell long. Yeah. So this is 304. I don't know what price you were looking at when you were talking about that long there on Marvell, but
yeah. So if this is going to be a $1 trillion stock based on the current outstanding shares that it has, that should take the price up to, I think it's 11.44. I wrote it down. Yeah, 11.44. So $1,144, you get a $1 trillion Marvel technology company.
okay. That's almost a quadruple from where we're at.
I'm just giving you.
No, I know. I know. I get it. I get it. I'm not arguing with you.
Right, Brian. That's kind of what I'm thinking we might end up getting here is just, get all these bears complacent with the downside. Oh, yeah, let's just start shorting everything. And then they get their faces ripped off.
I am looking to see if the SPY puts in a bottom here and then maybe reverses. We've seen that quite a bit on some of these days where it's come in.
Oh, Ken, I don't think I'm saying that we're going to see 11.44 today or this year. I'm certainly not saying that we're going to see it today. This year,
he's just going off of what Jensen said. He's trying to put numbers to the anecdote that I'm saying you are trying to put numbers to the anecdote that Jensen had said. If it is a $1 trillion company, it would have to be $1,100.
Right. But here's the thing that, I know we're not going to see that today. This year, possibly. And I'll tell you why. Overnight, this thing ran $100, which is like a third of the entire company's stock value. It went $100, so it went from 200 to 300 overnight, or over the course of one day. That's fast.
Yeah,
and I certainly could make a case for us seeing that price at 11.44 this year, but certainly not today. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Coming in hot. There must have been something in the coffee, Lion. I don't know. Maybe some lion blood or something.
Marvell calls going off now. Multiple sweeps here in size.
S dot unhalted, halted again to the upside. We might get another unhalt and halt to the upside. And could see a third one here that takes us up to that 775.
Lots of Marvell calls just went off.
Oh yeah, is it time to get it now?
Well, I'm just the 260s, 340s. That looks like a spread there. Lots of them, though. Market continuing to pull here. New lows on the SPY. 756 is broke. We're in a 755 handle now.
What do we think about Marvell maybe coming down to 285 and not so much, the spot here, but 285?
That would be the day yesterday where it just traded sideways.
Yeah.
I tell you what, 13, just from a trading perspective, an intraday trading perspective, if it comes down there and holds, that might be a buyable spot after this pullback. You're basically testing unchanged at that point. And this was up just like 15% on just the continued momentum from yesterday. It wasn't on any new catalyst or anything like that.
HTCO long halt. Is it still the same halt? Because if it is, there might be something else here. Brian, do you see anything about what this is halted on, if it's news or volatility? Because it is a bit of a long halt here. I would have thought this would have unhalted by now.
And you said the ticker was which one?
HTCO.
HTCO halted here. What do I got?
Oh, there it was with S dot. exactly what happened. I said was going to happen happened. We got that unhalt, halted up.
So we did get really quickly the HTCO. It's listed here as a volatility halt. NASDAQ only volatility trading. That was your reason for the halt. Yeah.
Okay, so that's weird. It should be.
That is weird. You're right. Yeah.
And then pause it. Yeah, this is what I was waiting for. I didn't take this because I didn't want to chase this thing, but S dot, we got that unhalt, and then we went right into another halt, and we broke the 775 high. 825 is now the high of this regular session.
Lion saying 290 is the spot that he's going to buy Marvell. He's not even going to wait for 280. We'll see if we get that though. NASDAQ big pull. SPY still pulling.
LASE still climbing back up. We're crossing over VWAP. I wonder if we get enough volume expansion here, we take out 4. That's the big resistance. Yes, I am, Cameron. I'm always using for trading the 5-minute time frame.
Yeah, and I try to keep that on the screen as much as possible because I know the two of us both use that predominantly during intraday.
Hey, HTCO is finally unhalted and it went higher. You're stuck in S dot?
Well, it's because it's halted.
Oh, well, I mean, well, when I think stuck, I mean like they're at a loss, and I'm like, so maybe my brain is just reading that incorrectly. But stuck, I mean, if you're up, then you're stuck in a positive territory. What I hope doesn't happen when this unhalts is that it just opens like underneath 7 or something. But when this unhalts, I don't know what your trade plan is, but seems like you're doing fine if you're up here, as long as you didn't buy up here. And now here we go with LASE, looking for 4. Got a seller in the way at 390.
Yeah, he's big too at 390 there. There it goes.
He's taking them. 395 is the next guy. Give us 4. All right.
Oh, right through 4, right up to 420 there. Nice job on here. You know what? That's a register ring.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much. And thank you, LASE. All right, next one. Looks like WCT is actually trying to turn around here. XOS, that's still coming in. Might find support. Well, we already talked about where we're probably going to see support at. It's almost there. Xena trying to put in a base here and still working on recapturing VWAP. It looks like Marvell is already starting to turn around here.
Yeah, it looked like it peaked below 300 and immediately turned around.
Now it's still got to recapture the 200 EMA on the 5-minute here, and if it doesn't do that, then I think we're going to see our prices that we're looking for, like 290, 285. Because we haven't hit that yet.
Yeah,
but we need to get back above this moving average.
I've got VWAP at 313.
Okay. Let's see what's looking good here. So LASE 421 is the high. Still looking like that might try and push higher. But it went right almost to one of these resistance areas I've had here for a while. If we manage to get through this current one, that's right at about 122. I'm sorry, 422. I have 460 and 480 as the next upside resistance areas.
Captain Cloudy says, I think we might have a big pullback today. We started to bounce on the SPY and the NASDAQ. Do you think this bounce is kind of a head fake? See if it gets rejected at the 9 EMA.
WCT recapturing its 200 EMA on the 5-minute slowly. LASE still pushing higher. S dot. There it is. So after that third halt, we've unhalted and we've started to sell off. And we've halted to the downside now. The next the next unhalt, I would expect that the price comes down to VWAP at least. Maybe it goes a little bit further, but the next unhalt here, we're probably going to find some support if it gets that low. So I would think that we see some, sub 650 prints.
On S dot, that was?
Yeah.
Gotcha. SPY coming back 756.49. Is that a resistance area, G-Man? Let me know.
Looks like a relief rally. Oh, wow. Just looked over at HTCO. That ripped and dipped.
A rip and dip, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Here's your Oh my goodness, you're not kidding. Rip and collapse. We need a new term like broadsword for something like that. Maybe we could just use that. Just bust that out of.
Yeah, just broadsworded. Absolutely. LASE though still climbing. 440 is the high. It wants those 460, 480 highs. It looks like.
And which one is that? Sorry, I'm looking around here.
It was LASE.
LASE.
Yeah, and Marvell still not able to get back above that 200 EMA. So it looks like we are going to get a little bit more weakness that takes us down to the prints we want to see. Looks like WCT still climbing. It's coming up to the pre-market consolidation. So I expect we're going to be seeing some resistance here pretty soon with WCT. If you look at a 5-minute chart with that one, we've just come up to that consolidation right before we had that drop at 9:15. So yeah, that I don't know what we're going to get right here. Okay, well, there we go. We're chewing through it, folks.
Man, that went right through it too.
Mm-hmm. Next resistance 210.
IREN on the scanner here. IREN, let's see if that gets back above VWAP. SOXS cruising because of the sell-off here.
And WCT halted. That's a great question, Daniel. What's the expectation for tomorrow with market PDT?
So we've been talking quite a bit about this. Here's my thought is that I think we're definitely going to see some more action. I think we'll probably see more volatility on some of these smaller names because it seems to me that the people that are going to be more active on this probably aren't going to be trading things like Marvell as much. That'd be my read through on it. I would imagine some of these smaller names probably have even more volatility. I don't know that we'll see increased volume on the SPY or anything big like that. And remember, it's not all brokers. So that's just that's like the actual like official date. And I guess some brokers are doing it, but like Schwab's, I don't think they're doing it till Monday, which is the 8th. So not all brokers are going to have the PDT lifted tomorrow. How about you, 13? You got any thoughts on that?
I am just asking a question here. Which brokers will lift PDT tomorrow? That's going to be Robinhood, Webull, Tasty Trades, Tradier, TradeZero, Alpaca, Cobra Trading, and Lightspeed.
Okay. Is there? Can you ask it a follow-up question for which brokers on Monday then have that? I know Schwab's on there. I wonder what else is. But that's interesting. You listed Robinhood in there, right? Robinhood and Webull and TradeZero.
Yeah.
Those are all pretty popular smaller trader brokerages. So.
Mm-hmm. E-Trade are set to be lifted shortly after the June 4th transition period.
So maybe even Friday then, shortly after. But it doesn't give a date then, huh?
It just says shortly after the.
It says shortly, yeah.
LASE, by the way, looking for 450. Just got a big pull here. But yes, so if there's a thought here, what we could do with the PDT tomorrow, maybe we see some bullish activity in Robinhood and Webull. Try and trade those. Something that we could take a look at for sure. Well done, C. John.
Here is Hood, by the way. This dipping and bouncing a little bit here today. Seeing some Ondas calls get bought into this pullback.
Well, that's good. Look at the scanners here.
PayPal getting smoked. Netflix, that's even lower here today, 82. Palantir might be slowing down here at 145-ish.
Let me look at Netflix. By the way, I went and watched Backrooms yesterday.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. You said you were going to do that. How was it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I personally enjoyed it. I'm always a big fan of Chiwetel Ejiofor. And I think he did a great job. But I already came into the movie knowing what the Backrooms were. I was a fan of the Game Pixels web series, so I had a great frame of reference. I probably would have not have liked it as much if I didn't have that frame of reference. But it's still a very, very strange and interesting movie. But I thought that had some pretty good performances. I enjoyed it. It's not for everybody.
Okay, cool.
Nokia.
Pullback spot on now?
Oh, pullback spot on now. So you look at that. I'll take a look at Nokia. We getting some pullback with that one. VR. It's very little. This thing rammed right through 15. Now that is a support area.
Retro, for now, I think you'd probably want to hold this 117, 116, 117 area. You have a little bit of a gap beneath down to 108. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, since somebody joined the stream. Do I see a pullback spot for Redwire? Let's take a look here. Actually,
so Retro, sorry, that was real quick. Let me just get that out there. Retro 116, 115. It was the producer's connection who lagged. Okay. Which one? I see Redwire, RDW?
Yeah, I see a couple. 18 could be one. That's going to kind of fill the gap that we've got here that was established from Friday, May 22nd into the Memorial Day weekend, Friday to Tuesday. And that's when we had the space names start running. Really, a lot of them did because we just had the launch on the Friday, and then we had the news over the weekend, and then the long weekend, and then Tuesday came along. So I think 18 could be one and 16 could be the other. Those would be the two pullback areas I would be looking at from here. What was really cool is that Voyager finally made some great moves. I know that's one that we had talked about and we had traded. This thing went down under 20, and that was in late last year. And now we're pushing over 50.
Yeah, this thing had to bottom first before it was good.
Mm-hmm. Great, and this is a big SpaceX play. I mean, pretty much this company's like most of this company's business revolves around SpaceX being successful. They have a golden cross here that happened on May 21st. I would think that this needs to pull back some more. I would think that it would be healthy if this came back in like maybe under 40. But I think there's going to be some more upside in this future. All right. Let's take a look at some of these names here. So SDOT, that came back into the VWAP. Hopefully, if you're trading that, you took your gains when it was still higher.
Is anyone else having trouble with Thinkorswim today? I actually just tried to put an order out on now, and it lagged forever.
I don't know. Marvell, this is showing no chill. It didn't even get down to our areas that we were looking for. This has recaptured the 200 EMA on the 5-minute, and it's working on the VWAP now. It's over $300, trying to go higher. Maybe this finds some resistance up here and comes back in, but what a move through that 200 EMA. JD is asking off-topic thoughts on T long-term. AT&T, I'm not a fan up here. I'm more of a fan under 20 because for this company that's, I don't look at this company as really anything else than a dividend payer.
Haven't looked at it more than that in a long time.
Yeah, and so with that in mind, I'd want better yields. Certainly, it's got a pretty good one right now, but to me, it looks like this is about ready to come back in. I think your support area that you're going to want to watch for is like 23. We start closing underneath that. I think this comes back in to 20, maybe even lower. That's just the way it looks based on the daily chart here. But I'm not a fan of this up at these prices. I would prefer this to be much lower because I would want to be taking advantage of the yield. That's just my my thought on AT&T.
We talked about GUR yesterday, right? This dropped here on an offering, and now it's curling a little bit. No toss problems. Okay, it might be something with my computer then.
Well, WCT. I think we can say that we're onto something here with these China pump names and Hong Kong pump names, because here we are with another one that we just needed to wait for the open. Just be patient, and they would latch onto this low float and just take it off.
So maybe that's what we should do tomorrow. If we see any China low float, wait out the open and then see if there's maybe an area to buy it at. Looking at this where it bottomed, I don't know if it's lined up with any other area on the chart.
That's a probably even better idea, Jay. Buy a freaking bond if you want that. You think you were talking about AT&T? Bond prices or bond yields are climbing. Well, it looks like we are getting some turnaround here in some of those other names. WCT looking for more highs now. Next resistance could be soon, though. Could be up in the 215 to 220 area, and we're coming right up there right now. LASE is down at where we need to see some support. It's still working on that VWAP. If we continue to get support here, I think we turn around and maybe even see 5 later. But we do need to see support. Sorry.
Chris says my toss is choppy and slow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
Watch out for dead cats. Oh.
Lion says I'll add Oracle. Let's take a look at Oracle. Let's see where that is here today.
SDOT might be turning around here. It's getting some support from the VWAP. Possibly a trade there. WCT starting to look like it's struggling up here at these higher prices, running into resistance where I was saying that 215 to 220 area. Right now, the high is 215. We're starting to show some upper shadows here that could spell some downside here if we continue with this price action. Well, Retro, if you inherited your father's, he's probably got it at a much lower price.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A year from Lion saying a year from now, you're going to be kicking yourself that you did not buy Marvell at 290. I guess if it does go to $1 trillion in market cap, you will, in fact.
Yeah. And well, I was going to buy it at 290 today, but it didn't get down there. LASE still holding above VWAP. Need to see some volume expansion to pull us up further, though.
The SPY bounce that we were talking about, that did in fact stop at VWAP. It's actually come back in a little bit. I'd wait for a VWAP cross if I think we're going to trade that to the upside here today. I don't know. I don't feel great about that. We'll see if that changes. Ondas trying to bounce a little bit. Tesla's still at the highs.
Do I like Amazon at 255? I could still see this coming in slightly lower, maybe 250, where that 50-day SMA is. I have this expectation that we're going to see, consumer names turn around at some point, and this is going to be one of them that's going to benefit from that. And It's great that they have a consumer angle and a tech angle. Jay's holding for Nokia for the 20s. Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, no idea
like
who that was.
I feel like a deck of cards.
That
right.
very easily could have been me. My toss is acting weird. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay, so WCT, here we go. This is coming back in some more now. Getting some support from the 65 EMA. Don't know if this is going to hold or not, but this is where support would have to be. If we lose this area, then I think the next support is going to be down closer to 163. S dot looks like this is trying to turn around and potentially go higher. Marvell still climbing. It looks like it's going to try for 310 here pretty soon.
And I am just so laggy. Yeah, producer saying my video is blurry. Okay, I must be having more internet trouble here today. Intermittent.
I've gotten some turnarounds here happening on some things. Looks like Xena has maybe found a bottom from the sideways price action in the pre-market. We'll see if we can get back above its VWAP. XOS trying to establish a bottom for itself. It's also beneath its VWAP. Need to see that come back up as well. WCT getting some support from its VWAP. Maybe this next move up here, we see that 215 test again. Maybe it goes through it, maybe not. I don't know. S dot, this is also coming back up. What a move this is giving right now.
Webcoin mentioning FabC here. I saw a couple of people talking about this on X last night. This actually is a pretty decent move here. I don't know if this is legit yet, though, this FabC. I started to look at it, but I got sidetracked yesterday with the hockey game.
Yeah, WCT is... Sorry, go ahead.
It's all right. Webcoin, I'd like to know what your thought on this one is. And sorry here, 13. I'll go back to WCT.
Okay. No, WCT over VWAP. It's been over VWAP for about 20 minutes now, but it's been right where the price just went was at VWAP for support. Now that we're moving off of VWAP, that's why I'm watching to see if we, try to get back up to that 215 to 220 area. Volume's not great though, so I'm not sure we'll see that. But yeah, we are above VWAP on WCT.
Boy, what a move on Rigetti is right, Dr. Manred.
Wow.
Big pullback, huge reversal. This thing now green by almost 2%. FabC keeps going.
S dot halted to the upside.
Copen is partnered with FabC. Cool. Copen 650. Marvell 310 now.
Okay, well, next resistance is going to be about 318, right where that right about where that 65 EMA is. Looks like we're getting a turnaround here in Cooler after that had a sell-off. A lot of these names that we're selling earlier are turning around. Inflection, that went down to 1770. That's now approaching 19 again. That might have been the opportunity right there. I don't know, though. Don't know what we're going to get the rest of the day.
SPY testing the VWAP here. We'll see if it moves through it. Actually have a bullish trend there on SPY. Breath is pretty terrible, but it looks like it's trying to come back. We have a ways to go on the S&P futures. So it's possible if this bounce continues, SPY keeps trading higher there. Marvell 310.
Yeah, Line, I'm not sure about Rigetti. I know they've got some stuff, but I think there's some better names. I don't think their valuation makes sense. But then that could be said for a lot of these things.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They do continue to buy a dip. So what's the thought here with BlackBerry, Jay? What is your price that this goes to? Because I was looking at 10 to 12. Looks like we're still getting a rise
Spy,
in XOS and Xena. Sorry, go ahead.
Spy between VWAP and 756.49. Yeah, so we're waiting for it to break out of this area here. It actually looks like it wants to push higher. We'll see though.
318, I think we'll see some resistance. Yeah. Breath mosquito mint. It looks like GXAI is still climbing. It's over VWAP now. It looks like resistance is going to be about 145 though.
XOS getting mentioned here.
That's trying to climb over VWAP right now. If we can get over the 65 EMA, which I have at 673, I think we're going to see probably some better movement. I think we'll see the other side of 7.
Okay, market is trying here. We'll see, Lion. We'll see, Lion. Marvell keeps going.
WCT has not lost its VWAP. It's still holding above it, but this thing it doesn't have great volume right now. Waiting for S dot to unhalt. Curious to see where that ends up going. Maybe we see it back over 8.
S dot. Let me put that on screen here.
Okay, XOS. We're up to the 65 EMA. Time to see what it can do. If we do get over the 65 EMA, I think we see resistance at 725.
Okay.
And basically every 25 cents up. That's where all the resistance levels are, is every 25 cents up.
Okay.
S dot open. Nice job, Scott. You're already making money.
Looks like the market is still trying to push higher here.
That's right. Thank you, Wes. Netanyahu on CNBC. We had
he's being interviewed here by Sarah Eisen.
We got word.
I can't hear it though.
We got word about that was going to happen yesterday. So thanks for bringing that up. Do you have like a closed caption option? Usually when I,
you know what, that's a really good call. I think that this does offer it. Let me see.
Because whenever I have to like listen to, or pay attention to one thing and I want to see what they're saying on another, I throw captions on. I don't need my ears to read.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Mo. He hit his daily go on XLS. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. And it looks like we're coming up to I'm looking at the wrong one here. XOS. Yeah, that's a really great move there. Okay, so Jay Rice responded here. Okay, so it was a meme name before, and I get that, but I think that was before this actually, this real substance happened, because I think that the QNX thing and the Ivy software, that's initially one of the big headlines that came out during the time that became a meme stock that helped fuel that rally. Now that we are coming back around with this QNX software being used for robotics. I could see that that being a meme again, but I think there's a lot more substance behind it this time, because back then they also were kind of still viewed as like this smartphone company, with the BlackBerry handhelds, and they had a whole lot of patents. They were still trying to unload. That's all done now, and they completely changed to what kind of company they are. They went from smartphones to mostly end-to-end security, and now robotics and vehicle platforms. So much different company now. Hey, no problem, Lance. Well done. Well done on your trades.
Yeah. Not the easiest day. So if you guys are doing well here today, be happy with that. I mean, be happy with that. But good job. Marvell continuing to push higher. We'll see if the market follows. Market did kind of stop here at the VWAP. Now a little bit of a pull there.
S-Dot halted to the downside. It lost VWAP. We did have XOS try to push through the 65 EMA, getting rejected right now.
That's S-Dot you were saying, right?
XOS is the one that's getting rejected at 65 EMA.
I'm gonna refresh my platform here. It's going pretty slow.
Okay. Ball below 6. Might just be opportunities for that PDT thing. I'm glad that folks are hitting their daily targets today. Because
that is awesome.
It's a little bit of a tougher day today, in my view here.
Mine too. I actually did try some SPY here, some 0 DTEs. I'm down on that though. I bought it just at the wrong time. Thought we were going to break the VWAP there. We pulled here.
RGTZ was great when we were getting that rise in Rigetti. Big reversal took us right back through RGTZ's VWAP.
Matthew, I'm up 300% on Marvell. Might be time to trim a little. I'd say.
Yes,
that's a good job, and I'll give you a preemptive register ring for that because trim that thing up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Stick to your trade plan, but when you have gains that are just going gangbusters like that, I think it's a great idea to pay yourself a little bit.
It almost doesn't even matter what it is. And 13, if you think that you want to be in some of it, I mean, you and I both trade stuff for the long term. How many times have you trimmed a portion of that just to make sure you have something booked and then let the rest of it run? I mean, that's normal.
WCT getting a push here, still not in new session highs. That's kind of what I'm doing with AMD. I still have a lot of it, but I trimmed it 300 and 500 because these are just outsized moves that are happening in a short period of time. So I had to trim a little bit there, but I still have a sizable position. All right. Yeah. WCT. This looks like it wants to push higher.
I think it's already up 120%. My goodness.
Just be careful with these because this is the Hong Kong.
Yeah. No, definitely be careful.
This is a day trade. This is not something I would hold on to. Looks like we're about to hit that 215, 220 area where I saw resistance earlier. We'll see if that breaks it, and we can look for a new area of resistance if it does. LASE still trying.
Brian mentioning MBIS and IREN both been on heaters. Rough for the shorts. You're not short them, are you though? Marvell, that looks like a little bit of a rejection at VWAP, but I think it's probably too early to call that one. SPY continues to pull here. I'm probably going to have to cut my 0 DTE trades so don't go to 0. God, I have this awful feeling in the pit of my stomach, though. As soon as I cut it, we're going to get some headline from Trump that's going to rip the S&P higher. That's happened to me a handful of times. Don't need it to happen again.
That just goes to show that you've been in this market long enough to know.
That's exactly what it shows. It shows that I've been spurned by it. That's exactly right.
WCT hitting that 215, 220 area. We'll see if we get that move. There's a seller in the way at 220, so we go through him. I think we'll see maybe the 230s.
Yeah, trimming going to keep a big chunk for a long-term hold. Thanks, guys. You got it, Matthew. Thank you for doing it. Such a great job and being part of our community every day.
Mm-hmm. Has anyone had any news on Quantinuum Incorporated? They are offering pre-IPO. Oh, yes. I've been talking a lot about that. That is mostly backed by Honeywell. So if you want to try and if you want to pick that up for the long term, that's one I've been holding on to and talking about since it was under 185.
Lion, you feel the same way, huh? You think the market, and I'm like, I want to stay in my position because if that happens, this will be 100% gain. It's just can never count on it, right? Can never count on it. Not doing good right now. Feeling some pain on it. Feeling just some pain in general with the Ondas pull too. Not the greatest day.
So Quantinuum, apparently that is going to be on the market tomorrow. QNT. And Honeywell is a major shareholder. Let me get a list of all the other names.
That's going to IPO tomorrow, QNT?
Yeah.
That's
the news I have here is
yeah,
says,
that should be fun.
Okay. JP Morgan Chase, Mitsui, Amgen, and N Ventures, which is NVIDIA's venture capital arm, are all in Quantinuum, as well as Honeywell. Honeywell is the majority shareholder, I believe. This was created in 2021 through merger of Honeywell's Quantum Solutions divisions and the UK-based Cambridge Quantum. Looking forward to that. It should be like half line. Let me double check that.
I can run through some of the movers while you're doing that there, 13. Okay. WCT, this is still pushing. It's above 2. RGTZ, we've talked about that Rigetti trade. This is just the inverse of Rigetti. That's also been pretty good as well. We had SDOT that was halted here. That's resumed, but basically just kind of in the middle of the area. And let me know whenever you're ready, 13.
Yeah. So Honeywell owns about 48.1% of the voting power, but they have 54% of the shares. So they own a ton of it, and they are the majority voting powder.
I like this, Brian. Pay yourself. There's no boss to sign a paycheck, so make sure you do it yourself, especially if you were trading that Marvell bounce today. Or if you've just been one of the longer term traders in Marvell.
There's WTC doing China pump things. It's funny how it all worked out that way. We talked about, we were talking about this yesterday. Watch for these Chinese Hong Kong games. They're doing the same thing every day. Just wait for them to start turning around. They'll probably, crap out in the open or whatever. They turn around and they fly and then they die.
Even if it's, I lost my train of thought there. Sorry, I got distracted by something I read there. Let's see what else. What else am I missing on here? Huge pullback on USAR. Can anyone guess the Tesla close today?
Did we get the pullback to that support area? Let's look and see if we did.
What was the area that you had on USAR again?
Oh, we're beneath it, but we still have all day to pull ourselves back up. We want to close above 30.
Marvell making another run towards 312.
Brian, yeah, I think that's the play, because Oklo. I know a lot of people like Oklo, but yeah, they're not going to be making anything for years. I think that's just a great idea. Just let's short Oklo. I think that's a great idea. Okay, what else we got going on here?
Yeah, don't see a whole lot. The VIX spiked right out of the open, but it's been coming in and it's still on the lows there. SPY still kind of trading sideways. It did go to commercial on the interview. S&P futures slightly below the VWAP, but above the support 1 pivot. What do you have?
Marvell, it came back in under 310, but now it's pushing up towards the
going again.
NDAC pulled back, and I'm looking to add some more today. They a lot of those exchange runners, there's a better name for that, but you know what I'm talking about, like CBOE and ICE. So those all came in at the same time because Kalshi had some kind of I think it was a Bitcoin approval. Let me pull the news up so I can tell you why that is. But I still think these are going to be fine.
Got to be quick. We're about to move over to story trading here.
Okay. Yes. Exchange companies are trading lower after regulators approved perpetual futures for Bitcoin for Kalshi. So that's creating some competition, but I think this creates an opportunity to get NDAC lower. So
I can see why people want a perpetual contract as opposed to one that they have to refresh every month. But I would agree with you. I think it's probably a buying opportunity on the pullback on NDAC.
WCT, look at it now. This thing.
And look at Marvell, 314 coming now on Marvell. Okay, and actually the SPY might be trying to go back higher too. So we're going to roll the dice here. We're going to stay in these 0 DTE calls. We're getting to the death zone on these calls here where the theta decay is just going to eat it alive. So would like this to make a move here pretty soon. 13, we're going to be done here for the day. Any closing words for the group? We're going to move over to story trading now.
Hey, fun day with everybody here, despite how kind of thin and low that the options were here for trading. But you know what? We still found them. We still found some movers. We still found some runners. We still made some money. So folks, pat yourselves on the back. Go have yourself a great rest of your day. I will be back here tomorrow. We'll find some more names. We'll trade them. We'll make some more money. It'll be a fun time. I'll see you then. Take care. Goodbye.
Yep, sounds good, 13. And as he mentioned, we had something for everybody. If you're trading the junkie movers, WCT is still pressing highs. If you were here for the Marvell reversal call, that thing has paid. That thing has been, that's 14 points already on that. Called live here intraday. Really good stuff from our group. Have a great rest of your day. We'll do it again tomorrow. But stick around because now it's time for story trading. Let's bring on Ben, Rhett, and Dougie Fresh. How you boys doing today?
We got Dougie.
Pretty good.
Good. What's
very
up?
Good. Very good.
Oh yeah.
We got good, and very good. I will take
amazingly good, Ryan.
Marvell too.
All right.
Awesome.
What do you got coming up for us?
You guys killed it on Marvell there. I see. Good job.
Man, I'll tell you what.
Nice.
I'll tell you what. Chat was all over this one. They have been the last couple of days. I know this thing's been running like crazy, but every day we seem to get another opportunity, another 14, 15 point, 16 point move now. Let's go.
Yeah, amazing.
I'm out of this one. But a nice move there for the group.
Yeah,
what do you
I
guys
totally
got going?
miss Marvell. Well, GLW was our top pick of the day, and that's paying right now. That's working.
We had someone trading that earlier today too, Ben. Great minds. Think
There we
alike.
go.
Let's go.
That was our number one pick. We're looking for a new 52-week high over 211. And we also called this short on IWM and covered it at just the right time. It got into our target zone. But man, I have a lot of longs, so it just wasn't enough. I'm still down overall today, but GLW, GLW just working beautifully.
All right, let me get out of the way. Good stuff. We passed the torch to story trading. Have a good one, boys.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Yeah, I think SMR is what's killing me today. I carried a big swing position of SMR into today after it hit our 1270 to 1320 target. I upgraded the target to 1650. Maybe I got a little too ambitious. But in any case, I got to feel good about our top two picks of the day. And it was hedge your longs with TZA, which I alerted last night. And then made good money on that, closing it right in a target zone, 286.50 to 287.50. And then the GLW long, which is getting awfully close to our target, right? I wanted to I'm in common shares and in options.
How much are your options up? I'm up 82%.
Yeah, roughly, because I got in at 6 and they're 950 by 11. So it's getting close to 100%.
Nice.
But it's just not enough. I don't have enough size to make up for my losses right now because I have a 0.5% position in the options. So it's just not enough to make up for the current losses I have. But I also have some nice common shares in there. I'm just watching. I'm a little distracted with GLW right now because I'm looking for I'm looking for this 211 plus
211
here.
mark, huh?
Yeah. Keys, by the way. Remember I alerted that right at the end of our show this morning?
Yeah, I never hopped on that though with you, Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a profit here. I'm up nicely because 349 to 354, and I got size on it too.
It almost looks like it's going up and to the right.
Yeah, target I gave you was 359 or 355. I don't know. Should I sell half or all here? I mean, I'll sell half. All right, fine. I never hold for my targets, and
I was gonna say if you have a higher target, you know it's hitting it.
Yeah, we don't know it's hitting though, but yeah, okay. So I just sold half instead of all.
Well, now it's gonna hit it. You just sold some. You know it's going up. There, look at that green candle as you sold it.
Yeah. But man, I'm taking on the chin with CRDO because I bought CRDO at market at the open. I never do that. I don't know. I got excited for some reason. Yeah, because I played it really well yesterday, and then I saw it surging into the open. I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna do it again. So I got in at 231 in size, so that's hurting me. Yeah, kind of mixed day. I got some winners and some losers, but two really good predictions in the IWM short and the Corning long right now. Red, I don't know. Do we not take profits here? I know my target's 211, but this thing reversed from 196 to like $10.
Look, it's not bad to take profits in this market. I mean, I think you can definitely trim 25% of your position. I mean, I already have. I'm only at a 25% position left there for those GLW calls.
All right, so you know what? I'm going to sell half of my common shares first because I'm at 12%. I'm going to take that
common
down.
shares and options.
Yeah, I'm going to take that down to 6%. Yeah, and the options, much smaller position. Maybe I'll sell 2 of those contracts. Hold on, let me update this. I only have 5 contracts there. 13. I got in at 6. They're about $10 now. Let me just sell 2 out of 5 just to feel like I'm locking something in. But it's probably.
Which one did you buy?
600. Earlier, I did 602.50. I made money on that real quick, and then after it dipped,
we're talking about GLW, right?
Yeah. No, sorry, 200.
I was going to say
I got the 200 for $6. Sorry, I got the 200 for $6. I'm just selling a couple of them right now here. Filled at 1083. Not bad. 75%, something like that. So couple nice predictions here, but man, I just had too many longs into the day, not enough hedge. You know, oftentimes when I go like that yellow alert and I buy the TZA in after hours, I'll go like a 33% position, which is basically 100% short because 3 times levered. But this time, I don't know why I just went like a 10% position, and it just wasn't enough hedge to cover for the morning sell-off. It was not aggressive enough. I'm short MSTR, by the way. I was late to that. I should have, when that news came out that he sold Bitcoin, I should have been all over the short.
Yeah, that would have been.
I got in late, but I still think it has more room to the downside. Let's look at Bitcoin.
It was bouncing nicely. I mean, if you look at this, if you look at the BTC chart, Bitcoin, go to the daily, you see it right there.
Yeah, I know. And the daily, it went to oversold and it's bouncing. It makes me a little scared. Should I bail on this?
Strategy's right at a support too, so you got.
Yeah, it looks. If
I cover my short, I'll cover it. I don't care.
I would look. Yeah, because it may pop up.
I'm gonna cover my short. It's just the catalyst is so juicy. Oh, actually, I'm making a profit on it. So yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, I would cover it then.
I'm up on it, making a.
There you go.
What's the project you're working on?
What is that noise?
That's
what
Alexa.
The heck is that? What project are you working
Alexa,
on?
Alexa's listening, Ben.
Yeah, Alexa's listening and thought I did well on the MSTR short there. All right.
Going to tell your wife. She was like,
all right, we have a few questions here. So the first one is, what do we think about Hood?
Hood, huh?
The problem with Hood right now is Bitcoin. Yeah, that's the problem with Hood. I know they had a huge insider buy, but
I mean,
this thing's at the mercy of Bitcoin right now.
It looks like Hood wants to pull back a little.
We have the pattern day trader rule change coming in tomorrow. Support on Hood 8193, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, even Bull doesn't look so bullish right now.
Bull just looks terrible, and I've been in Bull because I've been playing into this pattern day trader rule change tomorrow. It's just been a disaster. It hasn't worked. It's not worked. It's failed. I mean, what can I say? A complete failure of a trade here. We still get a press release tomorrow morning from Bull, and I guess maybe that gives me a better exit. I hope. But this is an ugly freaking chart. I don't know, man. Wow.
Not looking bullish.
No, not at all.
Pretty bearish if you look at it.
Dude,
very bearish.
I've lost a lot of money on Bull in the last month and a half trying to play this pattern day trader rule change.
It's not the.
Yeah, it hasn't worked, unfortunately.
Yeah, GLW cruising back up a little more. I think we are getting to that 211.
211, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Nice. So there's that, and then someone's asking about HPE looks interesting at this level, and our thoughts on it.
Didn't that explode after earnings? I couldn't.
It did.
Because there's a big gap on the daily. Let me see if it's still. So it looks interesting at these levels. Look, I have a problem with these charts, and I have to be honest. Like, if I miss a lot of this stuff, I guess I'm going to be fine with it. Like, I'll always find alpha in other places that don't have charts that look like this. But you gotta, figure at some point this gap is going to fill. No, I mean the chances. It doesn't have to, but the chances are high. $48.
It's way up there, and I just don't see myself chasing it after it popped up like that. Could it go up and pop up even more in the top? Of course it can, but
Yeah.
I mean it's just hard. And like you said, there's other ones, other opportunities that are setting up that look better.
Yeah, look, I'd rather. There's just a few of these AI infrastructure stocks I have left, like in my long-term account. NBIS and AMD are two that come to mind. So like long term, maybe I'll keep some of these charts. I still have some Mu also in my long term account, which by the way I bought it like $200. I'm up 5 times on it, but I sold like 80% of it. But I still have some left. Right? I don't know. I can't trade these things. I have all these daily gaps and vertical lines up and overbought. I can't trade them. I can hold them in a long term account, but I just can't trade them in a short term account. So that goes for HPE and Mu and all of them and Marvell. Some people are killing it. I mean, good job. Not me.
Yeah.
On these short-term trades.
All right, there's that. Then we have another one too. So keys. Jay Rice, if you like keys, got a few other ones for you. Same business. He says VSH.
Look, before I get to VSH, I think I even was on the conference call on keys. So this was an earnings play for me, and look at this W bottom. Holy crap! This was a beautiful earnings, beat and raise, significant beat and raise. It's in the right sector, and they got lots of big price target increases, including from Goldman Sachs, from what I remember. Yeah, big ones. JP Morgan went to 390, Citi went to 396. What are we at now? 354. Goldman Sachs is in there somewhere. I think they raised their price target by like $50, which is tough to get Goldman Sachs. They're tough, man. I mean, are they still at like a 300 price target on Micron? Goldman Sachs, maybe. Look at this. Goldman Sachs went from 384 to 426. All right. So I did some homework on it. I know. Look at this chart, Rhett. Holy crap! I sold half. I'm thinking I should buy back with that half that I just sold.
It looks like it's going to 375.
Holy shit! This thing might just be up and to the right today. I'm buying back. I'm buying back.
In a common share calls.
I'm in common shares now. If you like a call, let me know. But
I'm gonna look.
Wow. What was the other one that someone just mentioned?
VSH is Vishay Inter Technology or
VSH.
something like that. I mean, that's been up there so far at the top. I would have sold that thing a long time ago and been sitting there going, damn, that thing's still running. I don't understand.
Yeah, I saw this ticker 2 days ago. I forgot in reference to what. Vishay. Does this have something to do with one of the IPOs coming up?
No, it's the same business model as I think Keys. So it's Keys as the same business as VSH, TEL, and NOVT. Jay Rice is saying.
Yeah, but I think someone also mentioned this as they may have shares in a pre-IPO company that's going public. I may be mistaken, but I think someone also mentioned it for that reason.
Is he saying Tesla strong? Whoa.
So I can't trace
this. IPO is said to be more than 20 times oversubscribed.
Quantum?
Yeah, Quantum.
Hold on. Let me see if I'm getting allocated any shares yet. Let's see what it says here for Quantum. They didn't allocate the shares yet. Yeah, I've requested shares, IPO shares from Fidelity on Quantum.
QMCO?
But I just can't trace these charts.
What is it? INQ. What is it? The ticker for that?
INQF.
For Quantum?
INQF.
Quantum is a QNT.
No, the sympathy play for that. It's
INFQ.
INFQ.
Oh, is that running because of that?
No, it's down actually.
Down.
Maybe it's time to pick some up then. All right,
look at this. We're getting near our target, guys. Beautiful.
On what?
For GLW.
Near the target. Wow.
37.
I wish I had the bigger size. Yeah, the INFQ might work with that Quantum news. Wow, GLW really getting near the target. All right, let me. It's probably gonna break Pat, and I think I put in the morning note over 212.
Yeah, that's what I put for today's target, 212.
So meaning not just that 211.47 is resistance, But because of where the RSI is, I predicted that we'd break through to 1147 and get to a new high of at least 212. That was the prediction there on GLW. And man, I really should have done bigger size with that sort of accuracy and prediction. Looks like I
That was a
already
nice
sold
one.
half. Yeah, I'm already out half.
It's still good to lock in profits, you know.
Mhm. It doesn't hurt.
But man, I'm taking on the chin on SMR and I haven't sold yet. That sucks.
Yeah, I was a little skeptical on that name.
Sucks.
What are the
Yeah,
comments?
I
Yeah,
nailed it
another
for 2
sector
days in a
was looking
row,
good.
so I think I got overconfident. 2 days in a row, and then I was like, "All right, we're on a roll. Let's take the target higher." And I freaking increased my position, and I probably gave up all my gains from the first 2 days. That sucked. Watch oil here, back above this intraday line.
Yeah.
20 DMA, back above the 20 DMA. Uh-oh. That makes IWM dangerous again.
Yeah, Oxy looks good too, and you know I like Oxy and USO and them.
We're gonna try IWM puts here again. What do you think?
Hold on.
I don't know. Right at
Dalio
the
says AI bubble will burst eventually. News
Who's-
just sitting on that. Ray
says it?
Dalio.
Eventually. Well, okay. I mean,
eventually
anyone.
everything happens.
I mean, anyone can
Got
say
10
that.
years
Thank
from
you for your
now.
worthless prediction. It can.
Woo, that was on the money. Holy
Like,
cow.
come on.
I
That
hope
way
he
to go out on a
bookmarks this
limb.
day.
I mean, come on.
I'll try
Eventually.
some. I'll try some. You guys want to try some puts here?
Oh gosh. No balls. Come
Oh,
on. If you
man.
think it's gonna burst, tell me when. Don't tell me eventually. Get the hell out of
Eventually,
here.
Ben. Eventually.
Eventually.
Eventually. At least like qualify it like I did. And I've been saying this .com correlation, .com boom, .com bust. I've been saying the trigger for the bubble to burst is when you see AI capex slowing down from the hyperscalers, or you see like a big analyst, a respected house like Goldman Sachs or something coming out, or JP Morgan coming out and saying, we think AI capex has peaked and will slow down in the coming 2 quarters or something. That's when the bubble's going to burst. At least like qualify it. Don't be like, eventually it's going to burst. Maybe he said more, but what a
I don't know.
dumbass.
I'm just seeing headlines that come in. So.
That was a great headline.
See, when I make a prediction, I put a freaking timeline on it. Like GLW 212 today. That's how we do it.
And here it goes back over 208. It's going to get ripped.
Why the hell did I sell half already? All right,
you were about
whatever,
to sell it all, Ben.
I was. Well, not the common, the options. I do that all the time, man. Especially like if I'm see this here, right? So if I'm down on options and then it flips back green, I'm like, oh, I'm getting out. Like even if it's like a $50 gain, like I do it all the time. And then it goes on and hits my target. I'm like, damn, if I held that, I would have made 10 grand. I do that all the time.
I'm up over 100% now on calls.
Wow. Beautiful. Look
Let's
at
see
that,
my
right?
calls.
Nice. Very nice.
614 entry. They're now
One pick of the day.
1040 by 12. Yeah, I just didn't have enough size.
All right,
We'll get to stats by the end of the show.
I don't know. IWM looks like it might be going up a little more here, Ben. So
ain't short yet.
And short it, but keep an eye on the oil. It's important.
Yeah, no, I've been looking at that too. I'm telling you, it's an interesting market. Like the indices are going up, oil's going up, crypto's just taking a dive, but MicroStrategy or strategy selling off Bitcoin for the
and all
first time,
these
so.
big cap AI stocks are trading like meme coins.
Yeah,
like unbelievable.
It's pretty crazy.
It's insane.
It is wild.
I
mean, strategy's kind of down and to the right now. It looked pretty good to try to bounce off there. I remember we were talking about it, but I don't know. It's in a spot where it can bounce, but it doesn't look beautiful.
MicroStrategy. Oh shit! Should I? I'm thinking of bailing on TMDX just because this market isn't so great. I got that as a swing yesterday when I saw that it was. Let's see, had a bullish engulfing followed by a 20 DMA break here. And I don't know, maybe I'll keep it for one more day.
I was going to say, I bet that runs in the next day or so, but
I'll keep that for another day.
I might have to look at that one right there. That looks real nice, TMDX.
Yeah. and AOI coming back. That was our second pick of the day after. But we had the IWM hedge was our top pick, and then GLW followed by AOI. Right? AOI was after GLW.
Yeah, it was. So we had the top. It was hedge. I put GLW, AOI, then SMR, which SMR is the
and
only one.
SMR's completely failed.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It's all good.
And
good thing it wasn't a top pick.
Yeah. That
RSI is starting to get a little overbought here.
What's getting bought? Overbought?
GLW.
A little bit.
Yeah, look, it's hard not to sell on the way up.
Riding up the 20 on the 1 minute. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, if I want to shave something more, should I shave my common shares or the options? What do you think?
Options expire, so
options. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Getting out of the options. All right, I'm out of the options now. In at 6, where did I exit? 1092, 11. That's pretty good. 5 out of 6, whatever that is, like 85%.
There you
go. Beautiful. I'm still in some common shares.
There you go. If it runs up more, you're in it still.
Yeah.
And then if it does something in the after hours, you can still do something.
Yeah. But wow, what a chart here. On Corning. Let me take this extended hours data out. Wow, look at this.
They're pulling back a little bit right here.
Look at that.
And here comes your IWM put. You were right, Ben. Look at that.
Well, I was just looking at oil. Let me see where oil's at now. See, oil's up above this line.
Yeah, it's over to 20 now.
Let's see, we got to do that. Oil is having a big effect on IWM, guys.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
I didn't do it. I didn't buy it. Yeah, and that too. But yeah, I didn't buy the puts there.
Rhett did.
You did, right?
Yeah, but as soon as I bought it, they crashed, and now I'm back to break even. They flipped like 20%.
You're so fast with those options, man.
Yeah.
So here's one, by the way, that I bought big size in today. I've been waiting to get back into this AVEX new drone IPO stock. Look at this wild volatility, right? It blew up with that UMAC news, and we're all over that trade. And then we're out. I didn't get the full move, right? I think I was out at like 34 or something, so I didn't get the move all the way to 41. But then it pulled back because of an offering they announced. But the pricing of the offering has not been announced yet. And I've been waiting for the pricing to be announced. From the PR that I did see about the offering, I don't think there's any warrants, so that's good. It's a nice, legit company with a lot of backing from a lot of big firms. It's not like a little shitco that has to do warrants. So that's a good thing. But I've been waiting for either a PR that the offering closed or just the pricing so I can make a decision, based on where it's trading if I want to get in, based on how far the market price is from the offering price. But the news didn't come out yet. I mean, this has been now. When did they announce this? They announced this Monday after the close, and I still don't see a press release that the offering is closed or what the pricing is. But when I saw it this morning bounce off the 20 DMA, which also happens to be support here at 28.74, I jumped in pretty big size for an intraday trade right now. Depending on how it goes, I might keep some overnight, but I jumped in for a trade off of this 20 DMA, and then hopefully it runs even harder this afternoon, maybe after the close if they announce that the offering has been closed. But I could easily see this making a move to 31 today. We're at 29.50, especially if they PR that the offering is closed. This thing can make a run to 31 this afternoon. So I piled in pretty big size at 29.30. And just disclaimer, we got to, after what happened with Citron and what's his name? Andrew left? What's his first name?
Andrew left, yeah.
Yeah, after Andrew left, now we got to have disclaimers all the time, right? Because we're doing a lot of day trading. And when I put a target out, okay, I usually scale in and out. So usually I'll be selling on the way to target. I'm not going to sell at the target, which is what they nailed Andrew left for. Because he put a short target out there, and then he sold at a different price than the target he put out there, right? That's one of the things I saw. So, I mean, we do that all the time, but we're open about it, and we tell you our intentions, and we tell you when we we do it. And that was the thing. He did it like quietly behind the scenes and no one knew he exited. But yeah, you know our intentions, right? There's a day trade, 31 target, selling on the way up, and or any other price depending on changing market conditions because we're day trading this year. All right. In case the SEC is listening. Go screw yourself. No, I'm kidding. I love you guys. You guys are the best.
You're the best.
The best. We love you. Yeah. Love everyone at the SEC. Anyway, I digress.
After that rant.
Yeah. Now it's your turn. After that rant.
About NVIDIA's here. It's been kind of holding itself today. NVTS.
Oh yeah, we played that, man. I gave I sold this too early. I scalped this just for like, because I was hopping in my car and I didn't know, like I got in at 27.70 and then I'm like, I like the news. This is the best PR of the morning is this Navitas news. But then I'm like, I have like 15-minute like window where I can't trade as I'm commuting. So I put a 28.50 sell order, and then like a red light or something, I saw that it went through, and I looked at the chart briefly. I'm like, this can go to 31.49. Was it? Did I say? What was the target?
Yeah, 31.94 is the target you can.
Yeah, I said this can go to 31.94, but I just didn't get back in because I was in the middle of my commute, and that was that. So I just had a little scalp from 27.50 to 28.50, 27.70 to 28.50. Anyway, so yeah, nice strength on a nice looks to be a nice catalyst out of Navitas this morning. As you look at our morning catalyst list, ABVX. I don't want to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm banning biotechs from our community.
Is that biotech? It's
yeah,
up,
biotechs are now officially banned.
So we have a thing. Jay Rice is saying, have you been trading any solar names? Hearing both ENPH, SEDG, solar chips being transformed to AI. You can't chase them, but dips get bought. Tan hack up 20 points.
Yeah, I gotta learn more about it. I really never traded solar stocks. Never. I've never owned a solar stock long term. Never really traded them, and I guess there's a thesis there for it. And sorry, I have no opinion on it. Do you guys like solar stocks? Any particular ones that you trade?
Much. I mean, I traded Sunrun a few times, but that was about it. RUN. I'm just
There's
looking
a
at
TAN
the chart.
ETF.
Doesn't look crazy.
Look at
I mean, I've traded the
exploded. Totally missed this. Yeah.
I traded the TAN with you, Ben, but that's pretty much it. Don't really focus on those too much.
Oh yeah, that TAN is that ETF. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's certain sectors that just either don't know or avoid. eVTOL is another one, like Joby and ACHR. I don't like playing them because they're just too far away from revenue inflections and profitability, and that's also why I don't trade quantum for the same reason. And it's why I love drones. Like drones is big time in the conversation this year, big trend sector, but they're inflecting right now with revenue and profit. So I've been all over the drone play. Along with obviously AI and AI infrastructure, they're making the money now. But like quantum, solar, eVTOL, I guess solar, their economics have been improving over the years. But I probably wrote them off. I probably should have revisited it. I wrote them off years ago because I'm like, man, solar is years and years away from being a profitable sector. So I just kind of wrote it off and never revisited it. But I guess I should have. Maybe it's not too late.
Yeah, IWM looks like it's coming back down. What is USO doing?
Qs are dipping.
Well, USO, this is the line to watch because it's made a big difference with IWM and TLT. Is this 20 DMA line on USO is pretty important. We're at 139. We're just above it. And you can see here, last time USO was above the 20 DMA was on May 21st. Well, where was the IWM there? You can see it crashed below the 20, and we only started reversing when oil started reversing and dropping below the 20. And same thing with TLT, which is reflective of interest rates.
GLW on the 3-minute touching this 20 right here. Pullback.
See there? I sold the calls up there. Thank you, Doug.
Yeah. Talking profits.
GLW.
I might bail on AOI here. I'm down on it as a trade today, but it just seems I don't know if it's going to get through to our targets. I don't know. I think I'm going to bail on this. Can always try it later. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm out AOI for now. To me, like Keys and Corning, much better charts today.
Yeah, now GLW is pulling back right there, huh? Could have a nice little pullback.
Oh, Sats is red again. I'm scheming to make huge money on Sats in the next week or so. See if that works out.
That's pullback. What's that at right now?
It's at 123.43.
Yeah, I went back red. 123.50. It's above the VWAP though.
Yeah, it's still
Check the options activity today.
I got some options today.
Which ones?
On Sats.
Which one do you get?
What did I ask you? Which one's the 130s, right?
You got the one I'm in? June 18th?
Yeah. Yes.
130 or 135?
I think I went 130. I'll tell you.
Okay.
130s, I think I went.
All right. Some action on this week's 125. Let's see. Next week is IPO week. Some action on the 135. And then I give myself a buffer in case the IPO gets delayed by a day or so. So I'm in June 18th, which is where most of the open interest is. Yeah, 135. That's one I'm in. That has most of the action today. Actually, is the one I'm in. Well, it's June 12th, 135, and June 18th, 135. Those are the two most active ones.
Yeah, 130s.
June 18th. What's the OI here? 10,000, 17,000. Oh, 33, 38,000. 38,000. Wow, we're still. Whoa, look at this OI. Wow. 48, 50, 52, 53, 55, 56, 57. Whoa. Call it about 60,000 open interest. 60,000. Wow, that's equivalent to 6 million shares for June 18th. And let me see what's on the put side over here. Where is it? Yeah, you actually have some puts on June 18th, which makes I might actually buy puts on Sats after the IPO or the day before the IPO. I might flip.
Yeah,
I might
buy them out further.
Yeah, I might
pull back.
I might sell all my calls on June 11th and then buy puts on the morning of June 12th.
Yep.
So you can see here with the option chain, actually, it doesn't look like anyone is betting on a delay. It looks like, and this is a lot of institutional money, by the way. This is not the retail stock. And June 12th is the IPO, and it looks like, let's look at the open interest here. I'm curious. Let's see. 3, 4, 10, 12, 13. I'm missing something. Wait a second. What are we missing? June 12th. June 12th. Open interest. What am I missing? I thought there was 3, 4, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16.
On the 18th, there's way more open interest.
Yeah, it's way more. So I'm not.
Ben, you got out of Google, right?
What?
You're out of Google, right?
No.
You better.
I'm out of the 0 DTs, but I have Fridays.
I don't know about that. That chart is very ugly to pull back more.
I mean, I don't have a big position.
I didn't necessarily like Google today, but
I think 351. It still wants to hit that 50-day on the daily chart.
Is Trader Joe still in it?
I don't know. Hold on, let me try to find.
But anyway, yeah, I was thinking June 12. Let me go back. So I want to figure something out here with the Sats options. June
Good old
12.
Sats.
Okay, let me check the puts on June 12th. So
it does look
not much at all. See, so it's like
he already took profits a while ago, Ben.
He's so fast. I can't keep up with him.
Yeah, that was early on.
I can't keep up with that. So
looks like he's
He already bought a
completely out of
Ferrari with his profits. What are you talking about?
All right, looks like I'm gonna sell it then. I don't have. I was just like kind of borrowing his conviction on that.
because I think it had to lower.
Yeah,
all right,
dipping right there.
All right, I'm out of that. Took a loss.
What was that other?
Anyway, yeah, I was looking for some sort of signal with the June 12th versus 18, but it's the put call ratio looks like it's probably similar. You do have like a higher. I'm sorry, call put. You have more calls versus puts. The ratio is skews more bullish on the 12th versus the 18th, but most of the OI is on the 18th. So which is where I am, but yeah, I think the play is going to be selling sats on the 11th. Maybe leave some for the morning of the 12th, and then maybe shorting it or buying puts on it on the 12th.
I'm not even waiting for that morning. Just selling it the day before and calling it a day.
Yeah,
and then putting puts on it. That's my plan.
Yeah,
and I bought calls today. So
what ones did you pick up?
He said he picked up the
130 for
June 18th.
Yeah,
the June 18th 130s.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about SpaceX IPO. Sats has the largest exposure to SpaceX by far. Basically, its entire market cap is SpaceX. It's
all SpaceX.
It's like it is space. This is literally SpaceX before the IPO, and I don't think a lot of retail know about that. Do they, Rhett?
No, not really. Some people do. I mean, there was a big bull came in yesterday, bought almost $2 million worth of calls.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those calls are institutions.
It looked like it was institutional, but we'll see.
There's a lot of institutional money in this, but not so much retail. It's not yet. But yeah, this is literally space. Like this entire 123 price is entirely based on the 1.75 trillion on valuation on SpaceX.
Someone's asking what's going on with GLW.
Nothing. It's just great. They had that great catalyst the other week that they were going into, what was it, photonics or something important. It ran up huge, pulled back to the 20, and now rebounding off the 20 just like every other AI infrastructure stock. And it's a beautiful chart. RSI really reset.
So look at the 5 minute. Maybe here's a pickup level for it. If we can hold this.
This VWAP here, maybe
203. 203.50.
Yeah, I might.
203 to 203.50 is where I may look to pick up more calls.
Yeah, I might pick up, but I think I might pick up common shares instead of calls. Let me see where I sold the common shares earlier. I sold at 207.50, and the bull trade just completely failed. Another low of day right now.
Really?
Very sad. Very sad.
Bitcoin, it's heading back down.
Is everything going down right now?
I think so.
Really?
I think maybe I'm gonna short my MSTR again.
IWM. Let me know. I'll short it with you. Oh man, if I would have held IWM, look at that, pulling back down now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was the perfect time when I saw that oil pop. We should have shorted IWM. Look at that. Oil's really popping now.
Did you get out, Rhett?
Huh?
You got out of them?
Yeah, I made a few $100 on that trade for IWM.
Oh man, that was. Oh, we should have shorted it right there. When oil, that initial oil pop right there. IWM, we didn't do it.
A lot of stuff looking not good.
I
wonder if I just sell the rest of everything and just call it a day.
I know. I've been saying, like, I'm tempted to just only be in sats for the next week.
I want to be in those.
Well, you know, it's
honestly,
crazy.
like, maybe I should do that. I mean,
I have IWM.
I look at Bull is just getting destroyed. I've lost so much money on Bull. Like, my call options are pretty much worthless now. My account's definitely down pretty big now because of that and SMR.
Oh, yeah, nice. Seeing orders.
I don't know, man. I'm tempted to rip the Band-Aid off and take my loss on SMR. This is pretty terrible.
Look, you hit our targets.
I know, and I just got greedy. I raised my target and I bought more. I made good money on it the last 2 days and gave it all up in a couple hours.
It's not looking the best.
No, that sucks, man. I literally gave up all my profits and then some by sticking around one extra day. I usually don't do that.
Man, I tell you what though, look at the weekly chart for Bitcoin. That looks ugly.
I know it looks ugly. That's how it's short MSTR.
Oh man,
I gave a target yesterday on Bitcoin. Let me see.
I'm gonna short MSTR again. Which ones?
Yeah, I just shorted the common for now, but yeah, this thing looks like it's headed to 62,000. It's another $4,500 drop from here on the weekly. Yeah, it's much easier to see that on the weekly than the daily.
Yeah. Yeah, strategy doesn't look good.
SMR ruined my day, I think. SMR and Webull. Even though I had the right IWM short pick and the long Corning, it just wasn't enough to make up for those two. Sadly, maybe AV. I'm hoping AVX like somehow surges to 31 this afternoon after they announced the offering is closed. But I don't know. On a day like today, maybe not. But that'll help me if that happens. Bull total loss in bull. USO's still pushing, so you gotta this. If this keeps pushing, IWM can drop below the VWAP right here. I think I might get some puts ahead of that, just because of the strength of USO. I think I'm gonna try again. June. I'm gonna go tomorrow 288. I'm going tomorrow 288 puts. Let me just one final check of USO here. Let me check the 5-minute chart. 30-minute. Get rid of this noise. Well, I don't know. I didn't pull the trigger yet. I'm just
For what?
Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll wait for VWAP to break. IWM. I'm thinking of getting puts because of the strength in oil right now.
Yeah. Trimming some GLW calls. Some more. Just focusing now on shorting MSTR.
Oh yeah, dude, I can get around that. Let's put that at the top of our list.
Yeah, I like this.
Terrible.
I'm gonna swing this. Look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart on Bitcoin.
I know. MSTR is like garbage. It's going down another $13.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to like almost like 115 or something.
I'm just gonna let this.
If I have you guys on board, I'm gonna short more. What do we? Yeah. I'm short common shares. Maybe I'll add puts now. Let's do it.
Add some puts.
Let's go, baby. I need something to work to make up for those losses and.
It's so hard shorting this thing almost near low a day, down 2%. But
I know.
But that weekly chart is disgusting. God.
Daily chart supports a move down to at least 130.20 for today.
What do you think? I'm looking at next week 135 puts. What do you like?
I have this week and next week. This week I'm only $1,000 of the 130s.
Next week you're at 130.
No, this week I'm at 130. Next week I think I picked up the 125.
125.
Not a whole lot of open. Oh wait, hold on.
I'm gonna go 130 for next week. I know it costs more, but
yeah. Probably safer bet too. Look at that. There we go. Now we're moving. Beauty.
Oh no, now I'm down on AVEX. Is IWM dumping? See, there it is. Okay, now I'm getting it. I should have gotten it before I knew that was coming. Oil was a sign.
Man, you're pretty good at that with trading the indices with oil.
I know. Yeah. With it, well, I try to anticipate the moves based on news and other factors rather than waiting for the breakdowns, and I do seem to be pretty good at that.
So someone's saying, Sats, have you looked at their debt? Heard most of their funds will go to debt holders.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the NAT. I mean, look, I've done like 10 different valuation analyses with 3 different AIs, and the debt's in there, and it's taken into account. They're going to get cash from a lot of cash from the AT&T deal. So pretty much all of the AIs, and look, it's garbage in, garbage out, but I know what I'm doing. I know what questions to ask. I know how to press it to get to the most conservative In fact, just last night I challenged it. I'm like, let's take the most conservative approach on everything regarding Sats. Their debt, the value of the company, the SpaceX shares. Let's take the most conservative
Oh my
approach.
gosh, look at Apple right now. Uh-oh.
What? It's going down?
Free fall. Look at
Oh,
the 5
really?
minute chart on Apple. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Wow.
12. 11 out of the 12 5-minute candles have been red.
Yeah, that's dipping.
All right. Maybe we need something else to short. So,
the Qs are holding up so far.
Yeah, so I'm aware of the debt at Sats, but given the cash that's coming in from the AT&T deal and the value of the SpaceX shares, and I don't have time to go through everything, guys, but there's also, if you want to do it right, you also have to consider future taxes they have to pay if they monetize the SpaceX shares and sell the SpaceX shares, then they're going to have to pay taxes. So I considered all of that stuff. And considering all of that stuff, I got to a 126 adjusted NAV, or call it fair value, adjusted after taxes and after debts, right? After taxes, after debts, everything. Then you have $126 NAV at a 1.75 trillion valuation for SpaceX. So it's trading below NAV right now. And you can, you do what you want, but I'm betting my money that this thing is going to trade way above NAV. By Thursday afternoon next week. Okay, you do what you want, but that's my bet, and I have 25% of my account bet on it.
Yeah, Bitcoin. Let's see. I'd like to go see a retest of 65 around 580.
Yo, IWM's not looking good here.
No.
USO's pushing. IWM's not looking good.
My puts are up over 30%.
I guess I should have left those, but it's all good.
Yeah, maybe.
Hold on, I may have to raise more. I may have to sell some other stocks. There's some money
now.
here.
What is GLW? Oh shit, still going.
I think I'm gonna throw the towel in Credo. I'm taking some losses here.
Well, guys,
dude, I'm cleaning up my account. I'm done. I freaking tried swinging a few things and it worked against me this week, guys. Usually I don't swing. And then I tried swinging. I swung Reddit for like 3 days. I just threw in the towel on that right now. Threw in the towel on today's Credo day trade. You know what? I might even throw the towel in on TMDX. I don't like what I'm seeing here.
No, this market's looking pretty weak at the moment.
I don't like what I'm seeing.
The Qs are somewhat holding up, but I mean, if they break below this, like this 745 area, another 50 cents, watch out below.
Yeah, well, I'm selling the rest of keys also. I'm up on it. I'm done.
Might as well lock in some profit.
And I think I'm going to sell the rest of GLW. Let me see.
Holy
I'm
shit,
done GLW. Look at what?
Look how bull.
I know. Got destroyed. I got destroyed. Dude, my account is definitely not in good shape today, but I just sold pretty much everything except my core swings at this point. And AVEX. I like AVEX here at the 20 DMA. I'm going to hang on to that today. See if I can get
making a little MSTR.
Oh, right when I did that, look at oil. Was there news? Please. Huh. What did Trump say?
Oh shit.
Is there Iran news out there? It's a big move for oil there.
Let me check the news feed.
No volume though. Maybe it's nothing. There's no real volume.
IWM's still pulling back. It didn't have a big green.
11:09. It just says Saudi Arabia is holding talks with the U.S.
Yeah, whatever.
So there's just noise right now that's out.
Oh, look at MSTR.
Working for us.
Yeah, if you guys would have got into the IWM put and then the MSTR put right there, you guys would be doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, probably
2 good calls on the old show
5 to 10% on puts right now for MSTR.
My IWM up's over 40% right now.
Oh, IWM's really pushing, huh? Let's see.
I'm up over 40% on the puts.
I only have a.
I think I feel pretty comfortable swinging these positions in MSTR.
I know that chart's garbage.
Yeah,
I know. It's
like,
terrible.
I don't care. Like any other.
Yeah, that chart. The news is most terrible news you could. I mean,
it's ever had.
Right, like he has to sell, dude.
He had to
How
sell
much did
Bitcoin to
he-
keep the company alive, basically. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
I mean,
You
that's
guys,
just
you
terrible.
guys don't ever forget. The same thing happened to him. What was it? He was selling. It was what was it? He did the same thing back in the early 2000s, and it imploded on him. The same exact thing with MicroStrategy. What was it? Bonds or something? I can't remember.
I don't remember, but you should probably find out, see how it did and when it recovered.
What kind
or
of
what
track
happened.
record he has?
Look at Redwire down 10%. Oh, everything's getting sold off. MSOS down 5%, but
not interested.
The thing that really hurt me today was SMR in a big way. That sucks. Yeah, you could have like 4 great predictions, but be overweight the one thing that's a bad prediction and then be down. That's what happened to me today. This MSTR though.
MicroStrategy is paying out nice. Hold on, what was it? I'm
trying. My puts aren't really moving. My puts are not moving at all.
This week's are moving.
Oh, I have next week's only.
Next week's aren't moving at all. I'm only up like 2%.
Yeah, I know. So this week's are moving, eh?
Yeah, this week's are moving nice. The Israelis are saying there's no ceasefire in Lebanon. Or hold on, it says
This is real ugly.
Damn, I can't even see. Yeah, Lebanon for our forces. All right, we have 10 minutes left. Anything else? Hold on, I'm trying to find this news.
I got destroyed on SMR. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it's not looking pretty, huh?
There we go. Early 2000s.
Credo's popping after I sold it for a big loss. USAR was so hard today.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
is it crashing now?
What?
Yeah,
look at MSTR now. Holy crap!
Hope you follow, guys. Merry Christmas.
There you go.
Oh, holy crap! Look at that.
I guess I may have to start selling some.
Holy shit! That was good.
That's what I like to see.
How about that gift, guys?
But I don't have any. I have next week's. They're barely moving.
This week I'm barely up.
I'm up nice on the common shares that I shorted. But yeah, next week's are still barely moving.
This week's was the move. I guess I should have went big size this week instead of following.
Yeah, this
puts I got for next week. I got them at $5.16 or $5.60 now, so up like 9% or something.
Nice.
Yeah. This week's are doubled.
Yeah.
It was so easy to see on the chart.
Dude,
how do you make an
IWM looks
for
like
price alert using? I have no idea, producer. You may be able to answer this question.
What was the question?
I think it's Aaron back there. How do you make an alert sound for price alert using Benzinga Pro Chart? Ben, you ever tried that or no?
No, these alerts are coming from Webull, right? Do you hear my sounds?
No.
Oh, I'm getting these sounds. They're coming from Webull. I don't know about Benzinga Pro. Price alerts. I just use Benzinga Pro just for the news feed, and I would love to get alerts on that. I love to get sound alerts when there's news. Can someone tell me how to do that? Here, notifications enabled. I just put that on, but I don't think it's ever done anything before. I just put them on again.
You just gotta make your own sound effects. That's all.
Look at IWM. I just added more IWM puts.
Oh, look at MSTR.
Yeah, I see that. I wish I had more size.
$300 on this week's. Next week's is where I went size, but
there we go. I'm up. I'm up over $1,000 now, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to my losses.
Let's see what he says.
STR.
Oh, he's gonna ask the team. He'll get back with us.
Okay, so wow. Dude, like honestly, the only place I want to be is Sats and shorting the market right now.
Make your own sound effects.
That's what I was saying. Make your own. Like,
220.
ding! Oh, we got an alert.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say if you're on StreamYard, you can hit.
Well,
those
look,
buttons.
I mean, if we're still constructive on the day, GLW is at an intraday support here. Should we try it again, or are we done with longs today?
It is actually looking pretty good right there, Ben.
GLW.
I know it's just so hard to go long when I'm seeing what's happening with.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna. No, probably not.
I'm gonna hold on to my profits for the day, and I got this IWM puts, and they're up, so I'm gonna ride this out and probably call it a good trading day right there.
Oh, that'd be great. Good for you. Not for me. My trading day is fine, but my swings I got too many swings. Got demolished.
So not yet, but they will be coming this year. Benzinga's team is saying.
Oh, okay.
For alerts.
You're gonna have sound effects.
Be on the lookout for ding ding ding. Be like you're on a trading floor.
That's what we need. Oh, look at MSTR. Oh, I wish I
Yeah,
did.
it's gone.
I'm at
130.20. You're coming today for us.
130 today.
130 today, possibly if Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean it's all dependent on the Bitcoin chart, right? Is this moving with Bitcoin right now, or is it doing its own thing?
No, it's following Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin pulls back to that level, we'll see that today in after hours.
Yeah, it'll keep
that level of 130.20.
Well, my level that I was calling out was 62,000. Is that where you're at too?
No, I want to see a retest. I want to see what we're going to do near that. Hold on, let me pull it up. Bitcoin, it's at 65,580 ish.
65,580. It's going through that. It's going.
Yeah,
to 62.
I mean, if it goes through that, watch out below.
It's going to 62. I think it's going to 62. Obviously, I could be wrong, but that's what I think. So,
if it does that, we're at like 125 easy for MSTR.
125. Man, these puts are so expensive. It's
yeah, because everyone knows what's coming.
I know. I'm like
strategy's dipping good because
see, good to avoid on GLW. Yeah, that thing's crashing more.
Yeah.
GLW again. I'll look at it in a second. But all right, you know what? I'm gonna short more shares here of
goodness.
I'm shorting more.
Jeez, a lot of stuff pulling. Oh my gosh, a lot of ugly looking charts right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah. GLW right on that support. Hold on. I'm gonna short a little more. I mean, what is there any positive catalyst that could happen on Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's called Trump making a tweet. So I want to.
That's the only thing I'm worried about. You're absolutely right.
I would not add.
I wouldn't add it right here. You're already in it. Yeah, ride.
Yeah, okay,
just ride that wave.
You never know when he's gonna. He watches that market so closely.
I know.
He doesn't. Those people watch it way too well. They're too good at the charts and stuff. You got to be always careful of that.
Yeah. Just when things are looking ugly, here comes a tweet to save the day.
Look at USO pumping. You know what?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe IWM will add more. I need more shorts somewhere. Gotta short something.
Yeah, I would just do puts. I mean, look, you can short it to your 286.50. That's a clear target there in your thesis. So
yeah, but it already went to 286.90. So the question is that it, or is it gonna retest it? 285.60. Maybe it can get to 285.60. Maybe it touches the 20 DMA. But it all depends on oil and the geopolitics, which makes it a tricky short.
Yeah. 1127.
GLW is bouncing. What's that?
Today was a fun show here on Benzinga.
Yeah, giving out some bangers right
See,
there.
good thing you didn't short more there, Ben. Look at
yeah, it just popped right up for you.
It'll get sold off.
Yeah. I mean, unless Trump, saves crypto stuff. But I feel like he's been making a lot of there's been a bunch of positive things about crypto coming out of the administration.
Clarity Act.
The Clarity Act. Happened, so.
And it hasn't really helped.
Wow, look at Lunar. Whew.
Down
15% almost.
Oh, beautiful. The space sector, all those should pump next week ahead of the SpaceX IPO, I think. I'm not in any of them except for Sats right now. But I'll be looking at all the space stocks. Maybe even Friday at the end of the day picks them up. If not, Monday morning. But yeah, I'm tempted to go long GLW here, and I think I will. Bounce off that level.
I think we're going to see a little push here for MicroStrategy to the upside. But it's all right.
Pushing a little bit.
Yeah, that's all right.
Watch oil though. See oil still spiking. Fake pop.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fake pop. IWM fake pop. You can most likely short this.
Yeah, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Off the 20.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's 11:29. Yeah, Rocket Lab's also getting crushed. 11:29. Any final thoughts to close this out before we head out? You're done?
Yeah, I mean, we went to yellow alert today after being on green signal for, I don't know, a couple weeks in a row. And, you know, what's my track record on those colored alerts? They're pretty crazy.
Pretty insanely accurate.
So maybe there's a local top brewing over here, guys. I went to yellow alert simply because of oil going back above the 20 and the impact that can have on IWM, but it looks like QQQ is now participating in that downside perhaps here. So maybe this yellow alert is the beginning of a little bit of a market correction, but it's hard to know, man, right? Because a lot's dependent on oil prices, I think, in terms of what's going to trigger a pullback. But you know, like even if we get a pullback in the Qs, it's not the end of the bull market. Bull market's not going to end until, as I said earlier, until there's signs that AI capex is peaked out. And as long as AI capex keeps accelerating the way it is, it's just going to continue being 1999, and the bubble will get bigger and bigger, and then eventually it will pop, as Ray Dalio said.
Ray Dalio said.
Eventually. All right.
Eventually it'll happen.
Yeah.
You're funny. All right, guys. We'll take care. And we'll be back here next Wednesday.
Yep. And if you're interested in joining our community, head on over to storytrading.com.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.